Welcome back to The House That Happens, recorded live at Shuey's Bar and Grill, the only place to be in suburban Etobicoke, voted 4 times the best dive bar in all the province. And you know it's our favorite spot in, of course, this province. Hi, my name is Andrew Bellani.
Hi, my name is Cruz.
Cruz, how you doing this week on this Holy Thursday?
Holy, holy, holy. Am I saying that because I'm wholly entrusted in the purple passion of the weekend? You know, go to church, everything's purple, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we got to do that. And, or am I going holy, holy because of all the things that have happened in such a short time since we've been away?
Absolutely.
We didn't even get to 7 days, and freaking everything went crazy. So,
not to mention that's opening day for baseball, but we'll get to that a little bit later.
Of course, we're going to get to that too. And of course, it's just like, you know, one of the questions I always say, like, why did they have to nail Jesus with 9-inch nails? Like, why? Like, you know, couldn't they find like a construction nail or take it easy on that guy? We didn't know.
Well, it was the Roman Empire. I'm sure they didn't have some of the supplies we do now.
Oh, well, I'm still going. That's, you know, I don't know. I just think
it was a statement.
What's that?
It was a statement because people back then, they were normally like just tied to a cross, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. There was no doubt a statement about it because Jesus Christ was a superstar. People did not like it.
No.
And if you want to do it, trace it to the world today. I'm not going to really say because I'm not on that side of the fence, but we got the same people that are hating Jesus that are walking around our streets today, unfortunately. So, you know,
okay.
You know what I mean? Just we don't talk about it because we're not a political show. However, we try to be of a standard that you always tell me, Cruz, don't say that word. Cruz, don't do this.
We're righteous here at The House That Happens.
I think righteous is good, bro. Listen, righteous is number one. I may be a hater. But I've got, you know how I am. Civility and positivity are my thing.
Yes and no.
Okay. I only have one sermon. Pray when you're happy and be polite. Correct? So, anyways, before we get going, I'm watching, you know me, and I always say this, I'm watching too much sports. I'm looking around. Do you know who Jack Edwards is?
Of course. He's the Bruins play-by-play.
He's horrible. He's just, can I
not
say
a
that?
Fan. Not a fan here.
Can I just say, he's probably a good guy, but some of his performances suck. He was with Andy Brinkley, who was as good as on color as he used to be a goalie. Do you know who Andy Brinkley is?
I know of him.
Okay, check his numbers.
Yeah.
I think he played in Pittsburgh when there was
the
blue. Yeah. But anyways, bro, what would you think about this? A guy took a shot and he goes, oh, he put Chinese mustard on that. What? I guess
you hear people saying like, oh, they put some mustard on that. It's just a
Chinese mustard.
It's a different variety of mustard. The one you get.
You're gonna accept this?
Don't you get mustard in the Chinese food?
Okay, I'm gonna say it's Cruz mustard because then you're gonna know it's badass. It's coming at you quick, hard. It might knock you over. I thought you might be offended. I almost said the old name of the Cleveland team the other day, and
you did say it.
Okay, and you reminded me not to say that.
I just think it sounds ignorant. That's why.
Okay, so it doesn't...
What's wrong with Chinese mustard?
Okay, so then you can have Chinese mustard and I'll have Chocolate City. How about that? We'll call it even?
I've never told you to stop saying Chocolate City. I just think it's cringe.
I can get away with it. You know what I mean? God told me that, I think, if there's a God. Anyways, I hope everybody has this is one of the craziest nights of the year. Because tomorrow's dead, so everybody's out. I remember back my DJ nights on a Thursday night. I put on a brighter shirt because more girls were coming out.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Bars were crazy. People getting stupid. People driving cars when they shouldn't be. People passing out in the parking lot. So let's be all safe tonight. I know you got a long weekend. You're going to lose your mind because tomorrow's Good Friday, but please be safe about it. But
I should also say we're recording this early because I will be in Buffalo on Saturday watching my beloved Maple Leafs play the Buffalo Sabres. My first time actually stepping foot in Buffalo, so...
Oh, really?
That should be interesting. We're planning on going to the Anchor Bar where they invented buffalo wings.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Should be a great time.
I haven't been to Buffalo in 10 years, I think. But you'll have a good time in Buffalo. Buffalo's a good thing. You know, and you know what?
Shout out Buffalo.
Shout out Buffalo. And the hockey team that didn't do as good as they should. But before we go on, there's one more other crazy thing. You know, every day you hear nutty stuff. Like we're gonna have to cross that bridge and talk a little bit more about this insanity called the what's his name, Mike Tyson fight, because that snowball, that snowball getting bigger every day. And then we got to say,
how does it not?
I don't know. This guy should have watched Tyson training. He may be 57 or whatever Tyson is. Tyson.
I have a feeling they're going to fix it so that Paul wins the fight.
Get out of here. If you do it, I'll never watch this stuff again. Well, then,
I'm just saying.
Then I'm going to watch all the fights that I see on the new which tells me nothing creative is going on anymore because it's getting exhausted. You got to go back in the well to get everything. The number one movie in the country is Ghostbusters again. How many Ghostbusters movies have been? 3,000?
This is the
This ain't
fifth
Star
one.
Wars. This ain't Star Wars.
Hey, Ghostbusters is a huge marketing machine. Let's not forget that.
I can see that.
Your sons grew up with it,
Oh,
didn't
of course, we got some great stuff at the house.
There you go.
You got the original.
I love the original movie. The rest of them are kind of like.
But you see, but in Star Wars, you could keep going on because you had chapters.
Although Star Wars is getting, I love Star Wars, but it's getting a little long in the tooth, to use your words.
You can only go to the well so many times. So if I'm not going to be watching that Jake Paul stuff, I'm going to go see Jake Gyllenhaal pretend he's a fighter in a thing that they did 20 years ago with Patrick
Roadhouse?
Swayze. Come on. Swayze.
I have no interest in that, but I'm dying to go see Dune.
Yeah, I just bought the book. I've been meaning to read it for years.
I tried like in my early 20s, but I couldn't.
Because it's so deep.
It reads like the Bible.
Kinda. But I'm going to attempt to do it again. I read all the Lord of the Rings books, but that was George Martin had great narrative.
J.R.R. Martin.
Whatever his name is. I said
J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm mixing up him and the writer of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones
Tolkien.
is Martin. Yeah,
that's George R.R. Martin.
Yeah. His narrative's good, but so is what's his name? J.R. Tolkien.
Of course.
Lord of the Rings, another great thing. Very
Classic.
good. I expect when I retire to do something just as insane. However, the other insane thing that I heard lately, we just got to broach on for 1 second, and I think this is the best thing that happened all week long. Ice Cube offering Caitlin Clark $5 million to come and play in the 3-on-3.
The big three.
The big three. I'm going. It's only 10 weeks. Think about that.
Yeah. Would that interfere with the WNBA, though?
They said, I seen Ice Cube. I looked him up. I went to somewhere, YouTube somewhere. I found it. It's great. You know, I'm getting old, but I didn't realize if you didn't miss
Was this his interview on Pat McAfee?
Yeah. So I looked it up on there because he confirmed it on the McAfee show, so to speak. 10 weeks. They can change one of the dates at the end if it's going to interfere with the beginning of the WNBA season. But look at it from this point of view. Brittany Griner went over to Russia to make money. She didn't make $5 million.
No.
I think she made $1 million, right?
Still good money, yes.
Still, no. She made better than sitting around her house and doing nothing.
Yeah.
But she had to go play
ball in the winter, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so she went there, and look what happened. When you go to some of these places in the other part of the world, you don't know the politics, you don't know.
Well, she, to use a phrase, she fucked around and found out.
Oh, didn't she? Okay, But anyways, I'm just saying, why would Caitlin Clark want to go over to Europe when in 10 weeks she gets $5 million? And she'll be playing with the boys too, right?
Why not?
That's what makes it so badass. Because this, and another thing we got to say about her, though, did you hear her dad yelling at her?
No, I didn't see that.
I did not know because I don't want to use the B word now because she is a woman.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so I will not go there. But you see how Caitlin Clark talks to the referees? She's not going, how you doing? Going for a beer after the game? Really like your shirt. Hey, new running shoes. No. She doesn't say any of that stuff to a point where they flashed onto her father yelling, shut up. Is that not insane?
Well, I mean, okay, she's still a kid, so we'll see if we can.
Dad's going, that's bad parenting. Going to have to go home and tell mom, you should wash your mouth out with soap or something. That's bad parenting. You see your kid on the floor like that, someone's got to take responsibility for it, right? You know what I'm saying? So in any event, that's just what's got me all wound up this week, except for and another thing which I shouldn't bring up, but the mayor of Toronto trying to figure out how to tax the rain.
Oh, Lord.
So, yeah, it's made for an early 5 days since we've been gone, especially since we do keep tabs on the Habs, but maybe we don't have to today.
Well, remember my prediction at the beginning of the season.
What prediction? We're not talking about that right now. We're talking
you
about
brought up your
$5
Habs.
million and Caitlin. I said we didn't have to bring up the Habs today.
But you did.
I said we didn't have to.
I almost would have forgotten about it if it wasn't for you.
Damn, I screwed it up. Hey, anyway.
That's not true. I would have brought it up anyways, but.
Okay, anyways, we just got to say we're going to get to all these things with the show, but if I was Caitlin Clark, I'm taking the $20 million. I mean the $5 million. $5 million for 10 weeks work?
Why not?
Come on, let's do it. It's 2024, and I hope she goes, she skies some of them brothers that, because there'd be some 44-year-old dudes out there the guy who got knocked out by Jake Paul. Nate Robertson might be playing and all these guys, or she goes over Carmelo. No, he's got too much money. Most of the guys who play in this league because they got
they're like washed up NBA guys. I mean,
and blew too much of their cash. Yeah, but they got some other guys too, and I heard that they got like Rutger Park guys. Like guys that just play street ball so badly, they're so excellent, but they never get the NBA
they just never got the chance,
Yeah, whatever the case
Makes
may
sense.
be. But that's how that goes out. And that's an uproarious start to the show when we should be leading off with my favorite specimen of the year who had a bad time last weekend. Our boy Max.
Ooh.
Shit happened.
Did you see his car after, or that I should see that rear right wheel after he went into the pits?
Oh yeah,
I think it was mangled.
And he knew it already. He got on the radio before it even smoked. Like that's how, what's really cool about these cars? You become part of the car. Because I actually watched the race. I was going, and all of a sudden,
plus you're getting data on the screen too. So I'm
going to get to the data in a minute. But I think it's really cool that this guy's on the track. And like I said, I'm such an amateur involved, but I mean, I'm coming up the ladder quick. In any event, and he goes on the radio and he comes on and he goes, that felt weird. Like that's all he said. I'm looking at the car. What feel weird, buddy? And you're not in the car. And what was it? 2 laps later? Not even 1 lap later.
Third lap,
second lap, he was already saying, something's going on here now. What I don't understand, and congratulations to Ferrari. Let's get
Carlos Sainz.
Carlos Sainz. You know what?
The only non-Red Bull driver to win over a long stretch now.
Long time. Okay, but you know what? He's becoming my favorite guy. You know why? Because he's such a great driver. And this drama, which is like Dallas or Dynasty from the part, I didn't believe Formula One is like top 5 reality show in the year, just below NFL and whatever, probably some soccer league. But in any event,
not the Real Housewives.
No, this is better than that. This is way better. But Carlos Sainz is getting up in a weird position. He's getting pushed out the door.
Very weird position.
And and meanwhile, back at the ranch, hey, Lewis Hamilton, what's up?
Not looking. Well, that's
Lewis,
part of my notes.
Up?
Mercedes, some big trouble there.
Oh, I would say so. And
everyone thought they'd be a third-place team,
yes.
But now it looks like they'll be battling for 4th with Aston Martin.
And don't forget about Mr. McLaren too.
I think they're looking like a front runner for 3rd.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like they've come along. They got a podium finish.
Yeah,
you know,
3rd and 4th.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, and everybody's shaking their hands because we got constructor points, man. Only 3 races in and blah, blah, blah. But however, I did learn one thing. There is a couple of situations that I learned about. Number one is the tracks, the tires, the environment, and your car. You know, we get the right equation, shit happens. And it seemed Ferrari had, especially with the tiring, like the soft tire, hard tire. I'm still not grasping all the physics behind it, but I understood when they were talking about the heat of the street, type of tire you're wearing, how many times you got to gear down and get back up. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, it was a very hard compound heavy weekend during the race.
Yeah, and not only that, Ferrari did a little thing with their wingtips where they turned them a different way because they knew about the angles and some current in Australia or some. I was watching it 3 times. I still know what they were talking about, but they showed the car and they made this little adjustment to their wings because they knew, because you get a lot of places on this race where you can get straightaways. So you can fly by dudes. That's why I'm like next.
Well, that's why Australia is such a great track. You have those 3 long straightaways.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying next year, I will think about this even more because a lot of these tracks don't have those like they do in Vegas. Vegas is like going to be like that when they get to the end of the year.
Vegas is also a street circuit too, so it's going to be very tight. You have a lot less room to operate.
But you got the straightaways.
Sure.
It's
a little different though. It's kind of like that and like Baku in Azerbaijan.
Okay,
I think of those two.
I'm gonna have to take a look at the formula thing there.
Singapore maybe too. I want to say they share some DNA.
Okay, well we'll get around to that. We'll figure it out because I'm okay. BOH. We do talk about Formula One because it's cool. So the only thing before we get any further, congratulations to Ferrari. No matter what we say, when the person that wins should get credit for the win, because you know me, I spend a lot of time talking about my boy Max because he's a badass, and I don't know if he should have talked to his mechanic like that. Blew off his mechanic like last week's newspaper. That's why he's such an arrogant son of a bitch.
Oh, sure. All these guys in F1 are.
Oh, they have to be a certain way. But I like Carlos Sainz the way that he carries himself. He's in him, Lewis Hamilton, a couple of the way this drama is going to play out this year because they created the drama before he even got in the cars.
Yeah.
That's insane. I hope he falls into the Mercedes car. He goes to Ferrari to Mercedes. Why not? They're going to give him the money.
That's likely. The Red Bull thing doesn't look too likely given the history of Sainz and Verstappen back when they were on Toro Rosso back in the day.
I guess they had some
Helmut
issues.
Marko described it as a toxic situation having both dads there. So I don't think they're going to be looking to repeat that again on the big team.
No, and not only that, Helmut, if he's in his contract, Max's contract is him and Helmut are. That's it. That guy's
Max has made it very clear. He's a helmet guy, not a Christian guy.
Oh yeah. That's everybody loves Christian, but helmets first.
Yes.
Okay, I thought that was pretty cool.
I like you, but I like you more.
I like you more. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm finding every day. I'm finding something new about Formula One that drives me crazy. But I thought the craziest thing about the whole race was Alonso getting 20-second penalty.
Oh, for being a douche?
He wasn't a douche.
Nah, you're not supposed to do that.
They do it all the time. They did what?
No.
That was subjective. I watched it on today. They've done it in 3 or 4 other races. Another some guy. You know what this is like? That when you call the penalty in the third period, or you call the makeup penalty. That's all he got. Like guys do it. Like the guy. You know, that's what the data showed. I watched one way. I've been studying there, bro. I went on there, and the guy went up, and I watched 3 different segments on the 20-second penalty, so I would be able to understand what went on. Okay. He kind of, sort of drove erratic. Yeah,
but you're not supposed to do that. It's against the rules.
Okay, well, technically,
He changed his braking spot. He changed his line. Like, he did, like, if it was, like, maybe, like, 1 or 2, okay, fine.
But there was still plenty of room for cars in between.
Okay, but he was a direct reason why Russell crashed.
Russell should have been a better driver.
I don't disagree with that.
Okay, so then he got called for a penalty that sometimes you call and sometimes you don't.
He got caught. He got caught.
Okay, is that where it's at? I hope he gets a better job next year. Alonso, I'm on your side. I don't think he should have got the 20-second penalty. Then call it every race.
I agree.
Call it every race then. Don't.
But the problem is the stewards are different every race, though. It's based on your location. It's kind of like.
Do you think Mercedes paid those officials more than
the Australian officials?
I don't know who they.
Maybe they're just more strict in Australia.
I don't know. Like when I found out the history of this, like I mean, it's not a good move. Let's cut to the chase here. Like,
no, it was beyond.
Don't do this every race.
It was beyond being a little cheeky.
Okay, yeah. Well, it was just above cheeky. You know,
that's what I'm saying.
Just above. But I mean, it's not like someone's going to do it every race. It's just that George didn't hold on to the wheel, and he had. It was
bad timing by Alonso. Like right at the end of the race, like that's when everyone's gonna notice.
Well,
Alonso could have been smarter about it.
Okay, I'll give you the benefit of a doubt on that. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, before we go, when we're talking about races, yes, F1. I know one of them you're going to bring up, and that's my boy with the teeth.
Well, RB Jr. there. It's looking like Ricciardo only has like a couple races left to prove himself.
And they're just going to kick him to the curb?
Welcome back, Liam Lawson.
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's what they're saying.
Ricciardo's not driving good enough, straight up.
Really? I thought more of the car.
No, because Yuki's getting better results.
That's what they're saying. And this could be his career, right? This could be like...
This is his career.
Yeah, like, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets, what's next, Japan, then... China after that?
5. Yeah, I heard it was like, because this is the 3rd. They say they usually won't make a move until 5 races because something else could happen. You know what I mean? And like with the facts that Max blew a back end of his car, everybody threw a party, man. As soon as Max the whole place was partying. Like, yeah.
Everyone up one spot.
Oh, no, and everybody just, the whole place, oh my God, Max is
Then
gone.
Hamilton got out a few laps after,
Yeah, but it was a little different in Hamilton because people are like going, yeah, okay, whatever.
But still, those are 2 of the top 4 teams.
No doubt. But the bottom line with Hamilton, they know what he's doing. So I just went, yeah, okay. Karma got you. Move. Get off.
So it's just crazy. The last 2 world champions.
And shit happens.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean?
One more thing I want to bring up. Sauber keep making horrible pit stops. Another 30-second stopper for our boy Valtteri Bottas.
Which dropped him, 8 spots, was it?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it was insane. I didn't catch that till the end when they were showing it. Like that, they showed that little graph, and the guy just went... What did he do? Oh, what were they doing in the pit spot? Maybe the guys were having a smoke.
It's old equipment, I think.
But I mean,
the nuts.
Whatever the case may be, it looks amateur hour. Look, when you're watching it on there, it looks amateur. Those guys come in, zing zing. These guy comes in, and what are they doing? Have a coffee?
Well, because the Ferrari, like the big joke about them was like they were having a couple cigarettes during their pits, but then all of a sudden they upgrade their equipment, and all of a sudden they're right up there with Red Bull and McLaren.
And not only that, they have the fastest pace time of the race, which is interesting going forward.
Well, I'm just saying in terms of like the pit in general, the equipment is a very underrated factor. I think Mercedes brought up that like they need to upgrade theirs because they've been falling behind in the pits. Also, good for Haas earning 9th and 10th.
Yes.
Good for 3 constructor points. Slowly starting to pull away from the Williams and the Saubers
establish
of the
something for themselves. Yeah. I'm happy too. Old school team getting their way up the track. I like it.
Not really old school. They're actually the newest team, but
are they?
Haas, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Williams is the old school guys, right? Yeah, okay, got them mixed up.
The next race is in Japan, April 7th, another one of my favorite tracks. Could be another strong weekend for Ferrari. We'll see.
That's the word around the campfire because of the type of track it is. That's what they were saying. I'm understanding that. So I'll do a little research before that, but we're looking forward to the
Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka.
Oh, yeah, good, because I see Max come back and pissing everybody's gas tank.
Well, it's also going to be a huge race for Red Bull because they're Honda guys, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Point well taken.
Should be very interesting. We will take it from one of our favorites to one of our growing favorites here. Quickly, the PWHL, they are on their World Championship break. Once they get back, everyone will only have 5 games left to go, and Toronto comes back Thursday, April 18th. Toronto also sitting top of the table, 36 points. Nice to see a Toronto team actually doing well at the top of their league.
However, they're not one of my favorites yet. They're not one of my favorites. They've been playing better hockey, though. Great game with Ottawa. Broke their streak. I did watch the third period of the game. Love the intensity. Love the fact that they're banging it better. They're not allowed to check, really, are they?
No.
Why not? Because they're girls?
Yeah.
Stop it. Equality, man. What about diversity, equity, inclusion, whatever? Hit. Let's see what happens, right?
I mean, if that rule's there, I'm sure it's for a reason.
Oh, I see. Some of these girls want to hit. You see them. They're out there going, putting on the brakes. I could have just drilled you through the wall, but, I can't do that. No, let them hit. Open ice. As long as it's fair. Like, nothing nasty or shit. Let them hit.
I mean, women's bodies are designed differently than men's.
Okay, listen, buddy. If we're going to be a righteous show, we got to tell the truth here. All I hear all the time is about equality. What is equality? That means the same, not some get more. So when you're on the ice, hockey is a hitting game.
Okay, so equal for everyone on the ice, though.
Everybody on the ice. Hey, girls, learn how to hit. You got a helmet on, got shoulder pads. They block shots.
How about ask the athletes how they feel about it? They might feel a little differently. I'm just saying.
Anyways, before we go, I just want to say it's really, really cool that the attendance figures are maintaining, and as a matter of fact, going up. I really like that a lot. Like especially here, Toronto, Ottawa, and Montreal.
New York is apparently getting out of Bridgeport.
Yeah, they're gonna be behind the 8 ball, whatever. Minnesota's the ones that's hanging in there. That's really cool. But I'm saying like half the league comes from Canada, and we're really holding our end of the deal up. Included more sponsors, but it's the attendance thing. You know what I mean? People. You gotta have eyeballs on this,
of course,
if you're gonna do it. Which brings me to I will say that I'm more of a favorite of the Toronto women's team because they don't have a logo. They're more of a favorite than Toronto FC, who just won again.
2-0 at home last Saturday, to Atlanta United FC. Spicer and Owusu got the 2 goals and another clean sheet for Gavrin. Next game, 7:30 at BMO.
Well, they're definitely not my favorite.
Against Sporting Kansas City.
Yes, I'm not saying that. I'm just glad that they're winning because after all the bullshit of last year, and you just go, these guys.
That was back to like 07, 08, like the early years.
It was the amateur hour. Like, what are you guys doing? But they're coming back nicely. The guys that they're paying are showing up. You know what I mean? And again, they had a decent crowd down there. I wouldn't have gone to no soccer game last week, man. What was game time? -4?
Something like that.
It was insane.
Plus, you're by the lake.
By the lake, which is worse. I was down there. When was I down there? Saturday night. Late Saturday, right?
Saturday night, yeah 7:30.
So I'm downtown Saturday night, and we're going to Massey Hall. And I was even saying to my girl, feel that lake. And they're playing soccer over there at BMO Field. At least we got buildings to block some wind here. Right out there, they're right on the lake. Welcome to Lake Ontario. I hope they all had like those little heaters in their shorts or their something.
Oh, yeah.
They got to have something. Man.
Well, the players were fine. It's more the people in the crowd. You're just standing there in the cold.
I would say, I agree. But I think a lot of them brought antifreeze. That's the way I look at those situations.
Not recommended for drinking.
No. But I'm saying that, I've heard that Jack Daniels can be a pretty good antifreeze. I heard Crown Royal can be a pretty good antifreeze. Whatever.
You might pay for it the next morning.
There you go. But at least you're warm at the BMO Field when it's -4. And Toronto FC is winning at the top of their division now too, right?
No. So there's actually a bunch of teams in the Eastern Conference who have had very strong starts, but Toronto's only I think a point back of first.
Yeah, something like
There's
that.
There's 5 teams with 11, 10 points right now, so it should be a very interesting season.
We'll take care of that.
I believe Cincinnati's leading the way.
We'll get there, yes. Okay, we're good with that. Which brings us to
opening day of Major League Baseball here. Of course, the Blue Jays in action at Tampa Bay at the Trop, everyone's favorite stadium, and by everyone I mean absolutely nobody.
Let's just get one thing straight. Before we get going, we're going to have a preview show. Set that up. It's just
I wouldn't call it a preview show, but it's going to be a baseball special, let's call it.
Yeah, that's it. A baseball special. That's exactly how we'll call it. But in any event, that got me gnarly for a minute because I walked my dog. I didn't have any beers before here because I was thinking about smoking weed and having beer, but I was respect to the show. We're righteous. I said I can do that after. In any event, I got home just in time. Timed it perfectly. Got in the house. Had it on PVR, but I beat the PVR. And what do we start with? 3 up, 3 down. And Barrios' first batter, which is the reigning batting champion, Yadi Diaz, goes yard. I go, oh, you're killing me. However, I'm hoping things are going very well because the last time I heard the score, it was 6-1, 3 solo shots. Vladdy hit one.
Crushed it.
Like if that's Tropicana, he was breaking oranges. Let's put it that way. So hopefully when we get out of here, we're going to hope the Blue Jays are still on there because what's our call for the beginning of the season?
5-5 on this road trip.
5-5. That's what it is. And especially when you see a team like Baltimore come out of the blocks. What were they last winning? 8-1? It's only opening day, but they're crushing.
Yeah, I mean, you can't read too much into one game. I don't even look at the standings until mid-May.
No, and I agree with that. But we got to remember this, too. It's going to be a little shaky because we got Swanson
and Romano on IR,
both
joining Manoah.
So, yeah, and Manoah's throwing again, which is a good sign. The problem is, can he get it across the plate?
That's the issue.
Like, I heard he's throwing 96, 97. He's got the speed.
That was his issue in his spring start.
Yeah, so they're saying the velocity's there. There's no structural whatever. It's between his ears probably.
Maybe lost too much weight like I brought up before.
That could be too. But just say this time of year, we got to look at it about this way.
Also, the proper pronunciation for our Jays' new third baseman.
Falafel?
Kiner Falefa.
Falefa. Okay.
Kiner Falefa.
Okay,
it's hyphenated.
The guy's on the, you know what the guy said today? If he hit a percentage better, Buck said this. I said, Buck, come on the show. Come on. Tell Milani. He said, if guys like him hit a percentage better, this will go a long way to the Blue Jays winning the division. Did you hear that? I'm here. He's on national TV. He said percentage, a small percentage. Isn't 3% a small percent? Buck, thanks for helping me out.
3%, that's 30 points in their batting average, right?
Nah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, 30 points. What's that? So you hit 240 instead of 210? I'll take it.
I'm just saying that's a lot to ask for.
Take it, 240 over 210? Ali Falafa.
Of course you take it.
Okay, he seems to be in good shape. They all swung early. You know what?
Everyone's
really
in great shape.
Everyone's a 300 hitter. Everyone wins 20 games. Everyone saves 30 games. What I'm really worried about is I don't know what. Maybe we should check it by the end of the show. See what happens. Is that the bullpens? We got to worry. Like we got a couple youngins in there. Couple guys we haven't seen, so maybe they're going to do something and it won't be. Well,
bullpen is always just like a roll of the dice at the opening.
Season,
right?
You figure it out because you're putting guys together and you're there. Because I heard a very interesting thing, and I tend to agree with. Everyone says spring training's too long. Yeah, it is for everyone but the pitchers.
Yeah, they need that time. Yeah, I agree.
It is too long for everybody but.
Well, that's why they show up early too.
There you go. It takes a while. It's got to build up. But one of the things I wanted to. I wanted to bring up, though, is, first of all...
Still on the Blue Jays?
Yeah, on the Blue Jays here. Why couldn't we have spent the $25 million on Montgomery? Why? We were going to throw $700 million at a guy who's got a gambling
we should say he signed $25 million for 1 year to play with the Diamondbacks, which all of a sudden they look like they maybe could be the bump to get them back in the playoffs.
Yes, it is, especially because rotations are so shaky all over the baseball right now. We won't know who has gotten rotation probably till May. When you think about it, to really get a look at it. But anyways, $25 million. We got some issues.
Yes.
Don, what did I tell you about Gozman? And I said that. One of my things about Gozman, I said, maybe he's just taking the spring off. He's just going to get warmed up and ready to go. Did you see when he did pitch that the start the other day when he came out for his...
I didn't see his start.
Oh, he looked like June 18th, Gozman.
Hell yeah.
You'll love
How can you not love Kevin Gosman as a Blue Jays fan?
If you don't, then you just don't watch baseball. Go stand in the corner. Go buy his jersey. He likes those cinnamon buns. Send some to his house. Do something. The guy looked great. So I don't know if he'll get a start the first go round because when's the day off? I think it's like we got 4 games and a day off, and then we got...
I heard he's not going to be ready to go until after this road trip.
Then he'll get the home opener.
Maybe not.
Oh, he'll be home. No.
We'll see.
Did you see those 3 innings he pitched? No. He's gonna pitch 5 in a home opener. Like I got Gozman pretty well tracked here. I checked the data, looked at the motif. He'd be pitching, or maybe they're just gonna stretch him out to opening day. It all depends what the other guys do, bro.
Fair.
Like if everybody's getting raked. I mean, Barrios went 6 today.
Let me check the stats.
I think he went 6 today, so we're looking good, and that's what we need, guys doing 6. We got Chris the Head Case Bassett going tomorrow, so that should be even more interesting. Even though
Rios went 6.
You went 6, yep. Gave up 1, right?
2.
Oh, he did give up 1 later. How are we sitting on the game?
Up 8-2 at the top of the 9th. 1 out.
Oh, who came in in relief? Just
Trevor Richards and Nate Pearson.
How did Mr. Pearson do? He could be the secret weapon.
Full inning, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts.
Love it. Going to pick him up for my fantasy team right away. But in any event, this is a good start for us. No, I mean, we could lose the next 9. I don't know. Let's not get too excited. It's first game of the year, but there's nothing worse than coming like, how does Tampa feel? Who cares?
Again, just 1 game.
1 game, but who cares? We get Tampa. You know Toronto and Tampa. You know our history.
Of course.
So let's just do what we did, and we got Bassett tomorrow. And who do they got tomorrow? They got somebody interesting.
Tomorrow is Bassett versus Savali.
Yeah, that's another good, should be an interesting start.
Should be a duel.
In any event.
One thing about the Blue Jays that kind of surprised me, maybe it shouldn't have, is Vogelbach making the team over Nathan Lucas.
Why would you say that? I was looking at the numbers. I think it's just pure, and when your assessment of being purely a positional thing.
I think it is. Because we have so many guys that can play the outfield.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty well, I agree with you on that. That's what I'm saying. But I went back and checked the numbers. There wasn't that much difference. They've got about the same playing time. So I think it's positional. It has to be, right?
Yeah. I mean, Vogelbach, you probably figure like he can give you like he's a little bit more of an X factor at the plate, proven more than Lucas.
Yeah, the veteran.
For sure.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I combined with the veteran, a little bit more of a veteran factor. I put that into play, but
throw him in as a pinch hitter.
Yeah, I'm one. The thing that concerns me about the Jays is our boy Kirk. He ran pretty fast today. Seen him running. He lost some weight. He boogied like down to first base. Was that Kurt? Oh, that's Kurt. Yeah, he moved better than somebody rolling a wine barrel.
Sure,
he was doing pretty good. The thing I'm worried about, who else catches for us? Okay, so we're going to see this guy in the next week. You know that.
Yeah.
Whoever it's going to be. I forget the guy's name now. I should know it. He's on the roster. He had a pretty solid season down in Buffalo last year, I remember.
We'll see.
Sorry, I should have had my book out.
Clement?
Yeah, is that his name?
Oh, no, that's the infielder. Either way.
We'll find out his name by the end of the show. But I say like Kurt, like that, like you're talking about wearing guys out. We talk about goalies, catchers, same thing. But we're playing, 9 games in 10 days.
Yes.
He ain't going to play all 9.
Brian Servin.
Yeah.
Servin.
Yeah, he's our guy. So get him in there in a game. You know what I'm saying? We're going to
he'll get in.
You know what I mean? Along with the, if we're going into the 9th now, I think Garcia's going to come in because he's going to be the temporary closer, I hear.
I'd imagine.
You know,
although that's, I mean, we got big cushions, so that's the good thing. Anything else about the Blue Jays?
Only that I'm hoping that Don Mattingly is coaching as gnarly as he looks. Wait till you see that gray beard on him. Looks worse than me. Looks like that old dog that bites you in his hand near his dog food dish when he's eating. One of those looks. I love it. And all the guys are looking up to him, too. I heard, too, Springer was great. He got the first run today. Springer hit a home run. But what Springer said, he was like, you always look in the room to try to be the man. You always try to get things going. You try to figure out what we're going to do. And I didn't realize that Justin Turner walked in the room. He had that in spades. You know, certain players just have that. So it was a good side to hear. He goes, already changed the climate, whatever. And, of course, with Bassett coming around to saying we're all going to be on the same page this year, which is awful to hear after the season they had last year. But let's not worry about it. An 8-2 lead, opening day, down in the Tropicana, the worst baseball park in major leagues, except for the one maybe in Oakland. But that's got more history.
It won't be the worst one for long.
No, that's what they're saying. Yeah, go ahead. What were you going to say, something?
No, I was just going to bring up, let's bring up the elephant in the room.
No, not yet. There's one thing I want to ask. How come we got to start? We're North America.
Yes.
Okay. Now you're going to give me this globalization shit, and I'm going to throw that out the window. Why do we have to start? Look at the Dodgers in San Diego started in a country halfway around the world. You're talking Ohtani. He's supposed to be the face of baseball. The Dodgers, who are the glamour boys of baseball, and San Diego is chasing them on their heels, which is supposed to be. So nobody hardly even noticed those games or never got registered because we're so far away. Now today, everyone's excited. It's opening day. But that was the real opening day. So why should we cater to Korea?
What do you mean? Well, it's whatever. We sent them there for 2 games.
Good. I think that they should have sent them in June. Like when they're sending Boston and New York to New
Doing
England.
that mid-season is going to be tough, though. In baseball?
Don't send them at all. I don't care. It's like when the hockey guys went there. When they went at the beginning of the season, too. Remember when they went to where? No, they went to Sweden in mid-season with the Leafs.
The hockey's a little bit easier because you have a lot more off days. You can schedule around that easier. But baseball, you play every day. Doing
remember
that
a couple of years ago, they started the season off in, where was it, Finland? 4 teams went over there, and they played each other all
hockey?
once. Yeah. to start the season. Why? Do it in the middle of the season. We're the ones that are putting a sport on the table. Why do we got to wait? Give it to some country we don't even know. NBA did it. They're not going to do it again. They started the season in China. Never again. No. Never again. It's not going like that. But look at the NFL is starting on a Friday night in Brazil. And it's going to be on a channel you probably have to pay for.
Not in Canada.
Okay, thank God. But you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on here? Like, what about us? Especially us old guys, man. We put this stuff on the map.
How does that hurt, like, the old guys, though? I don't get it.
No, everybody, because because unless they switch the time up to make it convenient. Otherwise, like, why not here? Because that's a home thing. You hear what the Green Bay guy said?
What?
When they were going to do that, they go, oh, man, we don't even have a runway to get an international flight. We can't. That's a long
Well, it's up to the teams if they want to go at the end of the day.
So you look at it, I think Green Bay's on one foreign game. What a great move by them, though, to say that, because no team wants to do it.
But that's a double-edged sword there, because you're not going to be able to grow your brand. This is a great opportunity for these teams to kind of like grow their fan bases, right? Of course they're going to want to take it.
You're a nice guy. I don't look at it like that way at all. I want my home gate.
I don't know. I just think it's better. Like, if you're going to make the game more international, I just think you're making the game better in the long run.
Okay, like I heard Germany's really getting crazy about football every year.
Surprisingly.
Yes,
yeah.
Very surprising. But you know what it's all about? The gambling, the point spread. But we'll get to that later. In any event, that's what attracts it to it. You know what I mean? And it's a weekly thing, and it's an event. You know what I mean? That's why the monolith is so powerful. Mm-hmm. But, like, I mean, you got enough money from the Swifties. That was bonus cash. You're going to take some money out of Mexico. That was bonus cash. What more do you guys need? Think about your own fans first. That's all I'm saying. When I heard the Green Bay take on it, and then I heard A.J. Hawk said to it, but you know what they really don't say? They don't want to give up that home gate. Do you know a home gate for one game for Dallas Cowboys? You know what that is? One game at Dallas. You know what they make?
Oh, it's got to be a ton.
Guess round guess. $77 million. Wow. That's what they just make for that one game. That doesn't cut all the other residual, whatever. But Dallas Cowboys, every game, $77 million. Now, they're the most expensive because arguably, we'll have a show about this one day, is that Dallas Cowboys, and we're not going there because we're still in baseball, maybe the biggest team in North America, or most recognizable, that they're saying.
Definitely can make that argument.
Yeah, but in any event, let's get back to my original premise, which is I'm going to tell all the leagues, don't take any, we'll tell you when we're going over there. Not start our season over there. No.
I don't know. I think it's just like much ado about nothing. Like,
get off my lawn. That's what I'm saying. Nah, man, it's got to cost money. You know what I mean? And this baseball thing, like, I tried to get up.
It's not our money.
Okay, but I really like the opening of baseball season. Like, you know what I mean?
You're not missing the Blue Jays.
No,
or the Tigers, for that matter.
People, well, we'll get to them in a minute. But what I'm saying is, like, no, man, I'm not like that. I'm like a grumpy old man. No, I don't want that. I want it here. I'm greedy. I want my home gate. Think about that.
Greed is a sin, sir.
Okay, I'm not saying I'm greedy, but I'm just saying I want my proper share of what I've invested in for a lifetime.
There's 162 games. You can't give 2 of them away?
No. Maybe in June. Give them in June.
Why does that? That makes no sense.
Because I want my opening to be here in North America, where we started. We love it. We groom it.
I don't know.
We support it.
Like, who cares if it's the first or like the last game or the middle game? That makes.
Look at these generations that are behind us. They're not respecting the opening
regular
day.
Season is like game 162. It's all just regular season games.
I don't know about this Milani guy some days. He's just too righteous about this shit. Anyways, no, I'm staying here. I would be doing it. I'd say no, stay here.
In NFL in Brazil, it does that's still the same time zone basically. So.
Yeah, but I know they're adjusting it to a Friday night though. And you know what though? Well, we'll talk about this when we get to the NFL. What they're all about too is like the Christmas thing. Have you heard yet?
No, we'll discuss that when we get there. But I think we should get. So Detroit Tigers, they are being picked by a number of people to win the Central this year.
I am so happy to hear that, because what I'm going to do by the end of the week, yes, doesn't matter. Winning a division is winning a division.
Sure. And
you got my text. You know what I'm saying? I'm Dodgers, Yankees, screw them all. And the Tigers are an old school team. So I'm going to say...
one of the original American League teams.
You got it. So I'm all about that, plus growing up with them and all that. That's another story. That's full disclosure. But in any event, I'd like to see them get back over the line, because the traditional teams like Cleveland and all them, it always adds a little bit more excitement to the end of the season. You know what I mean? It always gives a little bit of spark, because even though they did play well and they gave us a great product at the end, when Arizona got in last year, it was like, Arizona? How'd they get in? Just like when they won the World Series years ago. Arizona. But how do they create a tradition unless you don't start winning? So let's give them that benefit of a doubt. However, Betting the over-unders, that's why I bring up the Tigers. I'm betting the Tigers to go over, and I think they're predicted low 80s.
They could definitely hit the over.
That's what I'm saying. Anyways, I'm talking to my son this weekend, and we're going to sit down and we're going to go on one of his betting sites and take 3 or 4 teams and bet the over-under. Because you can make good money now if you put it on. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I cannot still understand. It went up since we talked about it. Did I talk to you about the over-under in the Baltimore Orioles?
No.
Okay, anyways, when they started the season, they just won the division. They got a power-packed team. Yep. Opening day, they're winning by 1,000. And Vegas came out and started them at 86 wins at over-under.
That's ridiculous.
It's up to 90 now.
Yeah,
it's up to 90
because I think
I'm definitely taking the over at 90 because I'm thinking 95, 91.
I would be shocked if they flipped, even flirted with 100 wins.
Oh, I wouldn't be.
They're that team this year.
Hence the reason you bet it now, because those odds are good. We're not going to get those odds in 6 months.
Oh,
but
hell no.
When you heard that, like when I heard it last week, you'll probably meet him when we do the baseball show. When PWHL, I called him up and said, "What's going on with the over-under?" And it's at Baltimore 86. I went, "What? Toronto's 81 or 82. Look at the difference in those teams last year. Like sometimes Vegas does weird shit. Well,
again, it's based on where people are betting, though, right?
You think?
Yeah, it is.
So why is the Yankees so high? Yankees are predicted
because the Yankees are huge. People are betting the over on them, obviously, because they have a huge.
Yeah, but they're 90. How the Yankees get 90 over?
Because people are betting the over on them. That's why. That's how betting. That's how it works. You basically want to put your.
I hear you. But I'm saying this is what screws me up about Vegas. They're putting this over and under at the Yankees, which I go, really? And then they put this over and under.
You go where the stupid gamblers go.
Okay, that's I will once again another righteous statement made.
That's not a righteous statement. That's just how they make money.
In any event, we're going to take a look at the over unders, and then we're going to track them, and then at the end of the season, we're going to see just how little I know about the game of baseball.
All right.
Okay, but what'd you say about the elephant in the room?
Oh, there is a big elephant in the room. They recently went to South Korea as well to play. But we're obviously talking about the Shohei Ohtani situation, which we touched upon last week. The more this goes on, the worse it looks for him.
Okay, now I'm glad you came along with me, because last week, if you listened to the show a bit, you were kind of like, oh, whatever. You were kind of whatever on last week when it came up. You're not so whatever today. Why is that? What changed your mind? Where do we start?
Where do we start?
That's
the
thing. Okay, the greatest thing I heard is this. Okay, let's just give everybody, in case you didn't know it, we're going to give you a quick timeline on what happened. There was a spokesperson in Japanese who got in touch with Ohtani's interpreter, who took the story to ESPN, and this guy said, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do this." Okay. Said he was sent by the Ohtani people to clear this up so people would understand that Ohtani had nothing to do with the gambling situation. All right, no problem. However, when they run to Ohtani, he goes, "No, we're disavowing everything." That's the first. Come on, bro.
Yeah, the story changed. That's the number one red flag.
Red flag. A giant red flag right there. What was that? So now, Ohtani sits down. Now, you know my belief in this, okay? He just tried to help a buddy out. Buddy got in a little trouble, gave him some cash. Andrew, if I need $100 tonight, you'd slide me $100, wouldn't you? Come on, help me out. A little problem. Mama going to get mad. Slide me $100. You're a good friend. You gave him a little money, helped him out. You had nothing to do with it. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Ohtani's completely innocent, okay? But you go and you sit down, and you have a press conference. You see his press conference? I've never seen Ohtani talk like this. This was hardcore. So if you read his body language and his tone of voice, he threw that interpreter under the bus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, by the way, why make a media statement when there's no questions? Ohtani, what about that? Like, you're gonna make this glorified statement was like he could have had like Jackie Chan as his sub-in guy. Oh no, he's Chinese, not Japanese. I don't know any great Japanese guys, but anyways. Bruce Lee's cousin or some shit. Anyways, he got up there and did that acting job and said, "I did not do this." Is that like Bill Clinton said, "I did not have sexual relations with that girl"? Is that kind of like that?
Kind of.
I don't know. But anyways, this is now so sketchy because he didn't take any media reports. He wouldn't let media any questions. But here's the number one thing that I'm starting to go like, Ohtani, I'm with you up to here. Can't find the spokesman, can't find the interpreter.
Ooh.
Do you realize that? Since this whole thing broke, nobody can find these people. Nobody's got no charges.
Were they hiding out in like Tijuana or something?
I don't know. Maybe they're running with P. Diddy. I heard he's got his issues.
Maybe we shouldn't be laughing at that.
No, I guess we shouldn't, but they all seem to disappear at the same time. Coincidence, quinky-dink, whatever you want to say.
There are no coincidences.
No, but you know what we're getting at here is that I'd like to feel that I hope this thing clears up because a lot of people are giving it a lot of different avenues. For example, what they're saying is that because there is now legalized gambling, we can track shit.
Yes.
We know how it's going to go. This was
illegal book.
Yes, in California, which California is not on the books to be gambling with. But he was taking this out in increments of $500,000, mail ordering them to you. Just like, when you mail order me that $100, they were just putting $500,000.
Well, the difference is like sending someone $100, sending someone 500 mil. It's or 500 whatever is like
500,000 8 times, 9 times, whatever. Get to 4.5. And Ohtani was talking to his new wife. He's getting ready to get married. He was busy. He wasn't paying attention. Okay, interpreter, just go to the account. You need a couple bucks. Don't worry about it. Isn't that what happened? Isn't that what happened? That's what I want to believe. But.
Yeah.
But. Did I say but? Listen, he's the face of baseball, though. So where is this going to go? All we got to hope is this, in my opinion, and I think you agree with me. Wander Franco is probably never going to play in the baseball again.
I doubt it.
I was going to say he was going to slide because he's on an exemption till June 1st. He's getting paid to June 1st, and I think
but he's not allowed to leave the country.
Yeah,
right? The Dominican.
Yeah, but they're saying that something's going to go down. So I think with his money, something going the back door, and if he plays on league, but that's why I'm saying this is what I'm just comparing it on this sketchy note. Ohtani's much bigger than Franco.
Of course.
Much bigger. Face of baseball around the world. One of the top 10 known athletes anywhere on the planet. You know that, right? I think the cause is this. If he even threw a quarter on a baseball game, you know what the results have got to be? Done. But
still they're saying it wasn't on baseball. That's what they're saying still, right?
Okay, so when that guy got caught doing it a couple years ago, what's the guy on the New York Mets? They gave him a fine, an undisclosed fine, because he bet on something on an illegal spot, like what he did. And he said he was on vacation. He didn't know, he was just throwing in a bet. But that state didn't have it, so the bookie was illegal.
Right.
So that there has been a small precedent, but that was only about $100,000. They were only $100,000. I'd like to have that in my back pocket right now. But the shipment of the $500,000 increments repeatedly.
That is super sketchy.
With a feds now investigating this guy on the side, and all of a sudden Ohtani's name got thrown into the mess. Because he's his buddy, man. He's helping his buddy out. A little trouble with. He only makes $300,000 a year as an interpreter. That's all he makes, man. $300.
Oh, poor guy.
Okay, and maybe he got a little.
I know rent in LA is expensive.
That's what I hear. Suddenly you get $700 million. You kind of forget the change. Things got mixed up on the guy. Can we give him a little break? But here's the real issue, in my opinion. Not only the feds now investigating, Major League Baseball's investigating, but the one that must scare them the most is TMZ's investigating.
And they always get to the bottom of it.
I don't know how those guys get to shit, but I heard
blood-sucking flies. That's why.
Oh, that's a righteous statement if I've ever heard one. Maybe that's the name of the show, The Righteous Way to Bet.
The Righteous Way to Bet.
But yeah, when I heard the agencies that were investigating them, and then I heard and TMZ, my ears popped up. I go, what? I wasn't worried about the feds. I wasn't worried about Major League Baseball. When TMZ goes to look for some shit, guess what?
Oh, they find shit.
They find shit. That's what I'm saying. So, anyways, that's another thing that I want to say. Then the story would have been larger if they didn't start the games overseas. Then Ohtani, his first time in a Dodger uniform, should have been treated to his fans at home. That's what I'm saying. But the fact that it all worked out for the Dodgers because they were over in Korea at the end of the story, so he didn't get to say that their $300 million pitcher got ripped.
Right, but the story isn't going anywhere to begin with.
No, but I don't think I'm going to go and bet the under on whatever the Dodgers are going to win because that $300 million pitcher, what did he pitch? 5 batters?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
4 outs. He got 4 outs. What did they pay him, $300 million? Highest pitching contract in the history of the world?
Yeah, and he's been a bust so far.
Well, no, he's going to get back. But I'm going to tell you my theory about things. I said it before, and I hope this doesn't sound any way bad, but I'm going to get to it now, and it's called genetics. Japanese men are, what do you call it? anthropology, but how do you say
Okay.
anthropologically built smaller than the average North American, including Hispanics and Afro-Americans. So my theory is sometimes those throw into guys that are more their size. Now they're coming over here and they got to throw to regular guys that are bigger, faster, stronger. $300 million for the guy? I never believed in that. Never. Going back to Johan Park. Remember, it took him a couple years with the Dodgers years and years ago when they first bring him over. It's a different game. They usually have a 6-man rotation, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to adapt. So anyways, as I usually like to say, my favorite statement when a team like this happens to them, my heart bleeds purple piss for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Okay? Are we good there?
Yeah, we are good there. We'll take this from Major League Baseball to the never-ending season, the NFL.
Oh, I'm glad that we got in on this too.
So
you know what I mean? Okay.
The big news this week is those hip hit unanimously made illegal now by the owners.
Sometimes I think this is like, do you ever watch Get Smart, the original Get Smart?
I've seen Get Smart.
You know, the cone of silence?
Yeah.
Okay, I think these owners go in there and get a cone of silence to kind of come up and they're all on the same page. Maybe they'll give them a shot of gas in there because they go unanimous. And then when they came out of the meetings, guys were rumbling off the record. As soon as it was over, McAfee was down there for the thing they were coming out, and Schefter, because you know the thing is being an insider, you just can't say names.
Right.
Okay, but 3 different guys is which I'm going to get when we get to my gospel according to Cruz, is how I think some of that works, is that, okay, so these guys say certain things. If it's unanimous and you get 3 owners coming out within 1 hour of making the decision going, I don't know about this. I don't know. We could have made a mistake on this one. What are we doing to the game? Now, give us your take on it, because I think it's quite interesting when you talk to me.
Well,
You almost had me convinced, by the way, but go ahead.
This is a dangerous hit. 20 to 25% of the time resulting in an injury.
Not enough data. They haven't
Still,
shown the whole data, but I know. I'm going to go. I'll keep going.
This is already a hit that's banned in rugby. And I mean, you look at it.
Different sport.
But still, guys in rugby know how to hit. Guys in the NFL don't.
I'll agree with that. I don't have a problem with that. Okay.
It's just a dangerous way. Like, you're kind of the way it, again, we talked about this last week. It's tough to describe this without a visual aid.
Okay.
The way you're kind of like rolling your body, like, it just looks dangerous.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you
know?
what. I'm going to tell you what. Here's what how I look at it, okay? When you use your force of your body to get another man underneath you, then I think that is the law of the land. And I seen some of them. I seen them on 2 or 3 shows. I watched them. Good Morning Football, McAfee. They showed like 8, 9 of them in a row. 3 or 4 looked horrible, and one of the guys broke an ankle. So that was Exhibit A. So you go, yeah. But
Mark Andrews got injured on a play like
there
this
you go.
last
I
year.
think it was Mark Andrews is one. Yeah, he was one of the ones there too. Because it's the throw, it's the lurch, and I agree with that. It's the same thing with roughing the passers. The guys had to learn how to lean instead of pancaking the quarterback. So I understand that. Here's what scares me. Okay. The referee's going to make a decision on this, and this is subjective. Don't we have enough issues with these goddamn referees?
It's all subjective, though.
So we're going to give them an extra thing to go in the 4th quarter when my Detroit Lions are winning.
Oh,
and
you're
all
already
of a
playing the
sudden,
victim
they're
card?
They're going to get nailed down, and the guy goes, did he throw him? He threw him. Oh, he was a little lurch, and the ref doesn't even like the guy, or if it's a ref that likes to throw laundry. Next thing you know, and they're not even going to say if it's going to be 15 yards. They haven't.
That hasn't come out yet. No.
So that's why I'm saying. So you're going to penalize this. You're going to give the referees extra subjectiveness on this. Vegas is going to love this. I shouldn't say that because we're not anti-gambling here. We're not. Okay. However, think about this. Come on, Andrew. We're going to let the refs have another shot at screwing up a game?
So what? We're supposed to allow a dangerous hit just because the refs?
I don't know. I think that, like we were talking about, wrap and roll.
Yeah.
It'll work its way through. I just think it is, if I see a flagrant, like, you know when you knock a guy out of bounds? Like if you hit him right by the sidelines and then, okay, you know you by sidelines, but then you push him out of bounds, you can see that the eye test will tell you, hey, that's 15 yards.
Right,
well, I think that as us guys, I've been watching football 50 years or more, okay? Almost 60 years I've been watching football. Long time. So when I see with my eye test as a fan, which is what they do when they go out in any product, you go out and get people that got their eyes on the game and say, what do you think? And sometimes when I see some of those hips ones, I said, no, you can't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? What you're saying, you can't. But some of the other ones were close. It like you're going now, you're running side by side with the guy. That's going to be the plays. Not the ones where you come up beside him like the Mark Andrews one. That was unnecessary. And sometimes when I see them on Sundays, I do think about that. When I see those ones, I go, I didn't like those anyways. You too. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You don't want those. But it's going to be, to me, it's a little bit sketchy. Okay.
I mean, it's either way is
3 points, fourth quarter, late, 15 yards, kick, field goal. I lose my parlay. I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be so pissed.
So it's just all coming back to gambling.
I didn't say that, but that's why the monolith is the monolith. Number one reason is it's the most easy, practical look at once again, your eyes are on the team.
Right.
So you can do it. Housewives win money on this shit, man. Come on. But in any event, I'm going to say I think it's going to play its way out. They haven't exactly said what the penalty is going to be. Now, if it's 5 yards, like the 5 yards, like when you do that jump offside and it's just 5 yards, you don't get a first down and all that.
I think
shit.
it's going to be at least 10.
Well, it won't be effective unless it's at least 10. That's the normal, you know what I mean? It won't be effective. However, I think that'll play itself out so that they can, fine-tune it next year, which I don't know how you fine-tune tackling.
Well, that's how the NFL does everything, right?
Yeah.
Which is why I appreciate about the league.
Agreed. Like, they are proactive.
Yes.
In trying to make things a better product on the field, even though it doesn't look like it looks like when I was a kid. The game looks a little bit different. I will say that much, You won't see freaking Jack Tatum breaking guys' necks, okay?
No.
Okay, but in any event, I think it's going to be quite interesting. I think it's going to have to play it out like we said when we were texting this week. You know what I mean? Like, I liked your stand. I went, oh, youngins again. But I agree for the safety purpose. Agreed? So I'm saying our eye test should be able to tell. But I'm saying with that referee, that's what I don't like. However, did you also hear what came out of it in the referee thing, right? They're going to have an eye in the sky now.
I love it.
That's the best thing I heard, because that means when the referee makes the call and all of us people on TV go, come on. Yeah. Okay, the eye guy picked that up. Get that laundry off the field.
Which is why I've been advocating for the NHL.
Yes, okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. In the same way, get the eye in the air so they can see it. So, And you know what? That's nothing against these guys that are refereeing, because come on, honestly. Refereeing's a tough job.
Absolutely.
In any sport. So let's give them the credit for the mostly 95% of the time they're doing a very good job.
Yes.
It's those late fourth quarter calls that kill me. But you know what I'm saying? We have to respect it. But at the same time, I get nervous about putting more things into a referee's hands. And I like the fact that they have the sky, and they were practicing this on a scale on the side, which is why didn't they tell us with this other info? We didn't have enough info. But this one, they're saying they're using it. And they say it's within 1 minute, 90 seconds. Like it's boom. Like a couple times they've already been used it during the year. Remember they said after further review? Yeah. Remember they'd say that, and it's really, really quick because they've already
for the last
been
few
doing
years,
it. Yeah, but now it's official. They're telling everybody. So I hope that makes the sport better. You know what I mean?
I hope so too. And there's one more thing you want to bring up?
Oh, just two more things.
Okay.
One, I don't know what's going on with the kickoffs. They changed it again. It's kind of like the USFL or the World League football kick. They bring it back, but they're trying to get away from like the fair catch thing, and if kicker kicks it the far, because it gets sketchy. You see how it was this year.
Oh, sure.
It was, but it's only going to do it for 1 year.
We'll see.
It was another thing. We're going to have to see it with my own eyes, because they're moving it back to the 30 instead of the 35, so that the kickers don't just freaking drive it out of the goddamn arena. Maybe something's going to happen. So, and that's an intricate part of football.
Sure.
Can't take out the kickoff. I don't give a damn what you say. That in punting. And the other thing is, I want to congratulate my beloved Detroit Lions, who put forth the preposition that if you win a challenge, you should keep your challenge or get another one.
Yes.
They've agreed.
Which is how it works in baseball and hockey, right?
Yes, that's the way it should be. You don't get taken away. So I want to thank my brethren, because we got burned this year.
Oh, yeah.
We got burned in any event. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of other things we could say about a few other things that are going on in football, especially with the draft coming up, quarterback availability, and all the linemen that are going to be available in this draft that could be career move guys. So there's going to be a lot going on in the draft. We could talk about it now, but I'm going to just give full disclosure. I have a gospel to speak of that may cover most of that.
Okay.
Action, okay? Remember, you heard it here first.
So we'll move this on from the season that never ends to...
It is a season that never ends, though. Hey, when you think about it, they're talking about the marketing alone with some of the teams and the uniforms, and the places where they go to the combines where people show up, because you forget that there's like this SEC combine and all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, like, football season never ends.
Never ends.
Never ends.
But one season that is kind of approaching the closing stages is NCAA March Madness. We are into the Sweet 16 today.
Yes,
or no,
we
tomorrow.
are.
Oh, no, today.
Today it starts tonight at 7 o'clock. They're going to be coming on. By the time, don't worry, I got my PVR running. I'm safe. A lot of cool things about this tournament, and this is one I'm going to say because I've been watching it for 1,000 years. Another thing, because this is my favorite sporting event of the year, is the fact that who cares if a lot of chalk got through? Because everyone's, the Cinderella, this, that. No, man, if it was best of 7, you wouldn't even be around. You get lucky one day and you go on. So the first day of the tournament, which I did not know, they were saying that and I'm going to try this next year. If you were to bet every underdog in the first round, you would have plus money. Now just leave that alone. Because the next day, if you tried the same thing with the same money, you'd be down about a couple $100. Chuck, it was weird. Doesn't always happen that way. I just think this weird's a little bit of an anomaly. But remember this: no number one team made it to the finals last year or to the Final Four.
No.
So
but this year, all number ones, all number twos, still live.
Oh yeah, no, and we're going to
get a lot of number 3s, 4s, and 5s left. So
okay, well the only thing is, like you brought it up, there's only one really Cinderella, and that's North Carolina State.
NC State. Oh, I mean, there's I guess it really
no,
is
that's
just
the only because they're all at 5. The lowest
there's a 6.
The 6. That's Clemson, but you know what? That was a tight game too. They when they won, they beat a 7, they beat an 8, whatever. That's if you get a 6 or down, once you're getting to these rounds, going to be closer. But the one that's left, Clemson. And Alabama, I think they're going to cover the spread, but I predict Alabama will win that game, which is
Clemson plays Arizona today.
What's that?
Arizona.
Yep. And
Alabama.
Alabama Arizona plays Clemson. Yeah. I think that UNC is going to cover the scoreboard on Alabama. I think that's going to be the best game of the day. Okay. In my humble opinion, remember, you heard it first, North Carolina and Alabama may be the best game today. I think Marquette is going to run North Carolina right off the street and put that fat guy home. Did I just body shame him? Okay, the guy with a little bit of girth. The guy, you see him in the middle? His name's Burns. The kid's name's Burns. I think
DJ Burns?
He's a beast in the middle. But you know what? All the thing is he gets in a lot of foul trouble, so it's good.
Yeah.
Especially offensive fouls. Buddy, learn to get some footwork. But when he gets down in the paint,
tough to stop.
Almost impossible. So that should be interesting. And the game of the day is going to be Duke and Houston.
Yes.
Should be good. And I'm picking Duke to upset them, and I've already put my bet in. I took points in Houston. So if you want to know my bet, I'll get you that in a minute. That's going to be great. And tomorrow, UConn, reigning defending champions, are playing San Diego State, who are a 5.
Today.
Is that today, too?
It's tonight.
Okay, tonight. I'm taking San Diego State and the money. You know why? They went to the Final Four last year. Remember that?
Kawhi Leonard's alma mater.
You got it, and not Marshall Falk, too. And not only that, they're missing only one guy from that squad from last year, which makes a difference to have that kind of experience in the tournament.
Yeah, that continuity.
Yes. So I think they're going to cover the spread, which I've already bet on. Just because, I bet once in a while. And I think they're going to cover. And if San Diego State upsets Connecticut, you heard it here first.
Yeah. But either way, there's no more easy outs. Like
No. You're right. No. We're now it's like 10-round, 15-round fights because the easiest one it's turned out to be, and they got beat in the first round as the number 1 last year is Purdue.
Yep.
And Purdue's going to slap Gonzaga.
And you love that.
Oh, of course. You know my love for Gonzaga. Which brings us down to 2 teams that never seem to get there. They've been close the last 2 years. And that's Creighton and Tennessee. They both, in the last 2 or 3 years, they keep getting the Sweet 16. They keep getting the Sweet 16. They can't make the next step. So one of them is going to make that first step for the first time in both of them. Yeah, neither one of them. And in the last 10 years, they've been consistently in a Sweet 16 position, probably more than even some of the Blue Bloods. They just can't seem to get in the door because Tennessee's a football school. Where's all the football schools now? Oh, yeah, Alabama's left.
Clemson,
they'll be all gone today. They were here today, gone tomorrow. But anyways, I think
Purdue's a football school.
Kind of, sort of, but they've morphed into a little of both.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. Purdue is kind of a football school, Big Ten school. But anyways, have you been watching much of the games?
Yes.
I watched a lot too. And I drove my wife crazy last week because here's what I did. We had to go to the Kenny Wayne Shepherd show on Saturday night. Did I show out the Zapology last week?
Yes, you
I
did.
Okay, but anyways, we went to Kenny Wayne Shepherd that night, and it was an amazing show. By the way, Kenny Wayne really killed it. But what happened was I had the PVR running. So I walked into a bar afterwards to get a bite to eat with the wife, and I'm looking around at all the screens. Of course, we're downtown Toronto. So guess what? There wasn't a NCAA TV in sight in this one bar. It was completely hockey. And on 6 of the screens at the end of the Leaf game, and it was going into the Edmonton game. But there was 8 TVs in my sight line, and everyone had hockey on.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a place right around the corner from Massey Hall. It's a cool little pub. It's got that 4 levels.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called. But it's really cool bar. But yeah, nothing on there. So which killed me because I said, great. Because then what I did is I had like 6 games all on my PVR.
Oh, so you were in heaven after that.
Oh, I tried to stay up for a while, but I didn't because I didn't want to put any channels because they might flash the score. So I went to bed very quietly, got up and walked my dog, came back downstairs, and started recording the day's games. So I didn't finish watching the tournament till about 4 o'clock Monday afternoon.
Oh, boy.
Took me all that time to catch up. I've never grabbed a newspaper, never turned on the TV. That's how obsessive. I don't have ACOD or whatever those people have.
ADHD?
Yeah, or any of that. But I wanted to see the games. So, and I knew I had all the games on the PVR. It was just a matter of don't look at a newspaper. No, you know what? I'm in Etobicoke. Who knows about the tournament in Etobicoke? Nobody. But anyways, what we should do before we go on really quickly, though, is another reason I'm betting on Creighton if they go to the Final Four is their top 3 scorers are back from last year. And the aforementioned San Diego State made that crazy-ass shot at the end of the game to upset Creighton. So if San Diego State and Creighton play again in the Final Four, that'll be some kind of weird, funky karma thing America can play up on. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But before we go, anything else you want to say about it?
Well, I want to bring up the NIT. Something you brought up
yes,
as interesting.
Yeah.
And then a little bit thing about the women's.
Yeah,
too.
we're going to give it to yeah. Okay. Anyways, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like NIT.
So entire schools are skipping the NIT.
All schools. Ain't even going.
Wow.
Oklahoma, St. John's.
St. John's
said no. Yeah,
wow.
Who said it? Memphis, St. John's, Oklahoma.
Even Oklahoma, man. That's pretty surprising.
One of the big schools out west in California. Was it University of California? Because maybe it was Stanford. Stanford said no. So,
wow.
But you know what it's all about? Jason Williams came on TV and said, you know what NIT stands for? Not an important tournament.
Which is hilarious because it used to be the prestigious one back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day because it was all in New York. Because only so many teams that went there, and then you were invited. It was an honor. Like when I was a kid, it was an honor to be in the NIT, and it wasn't quite the national championship, but you got your flowers. Now people aren't even go, which is comparing it to what's going on in the college football. Mm-hmm. Because how do you get recruits to go, we went to the NIT, so what? We want to go to the dance.
Right.
So why even talk about it? Why bring it up? I won the NIT. Oh, you were the losers bracket, did you? Okay, I'm going to go to Duke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons behind it. And then the other argument is, again, if you love the game, wouldn't you take every opportunity you could get to play and expose yourself?
You would think, but if you're like waiting to go in the draft, you don't want to risk injury, right?
I don't know.
Which is the whole bowl game thing, right?
Yeah, that's what they say, and I got to respect that because your career is never that long. So in context of the moon, I'm going to say, yeah. You know what I mean? But for players, I'm not saying they disrespect the game, but I understand why, especially from a recruiting point of view. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I hope everybody's been paying attention to the women's tournament because it's had its fair share of drama left. And the 3 teams that are holding this all up, you know who they are. Iowa, LSU, and, of course, South Carolina, who wants their flowers bad. So what do we have? I think I mentioned previously that's cool that Caitlin's got her $5 million offer. However, there was a couple of calls against West Virginia that it doesn't count if it's men's sports or if it's women's sports, and the TV people are looking for stars. There might have been a couple of questionable calls at the end of the West Virginia game that got the West Virginia people barking loud. But, of course, she took a couple threes at the end, won the game, and go home. We're going on. Because the big money is everyone.
You're talking about Caitlin Clark?
Yeah.
Iowa, not West Virginia.
Yeah, no, they played West Virginia.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, and West Virginia was like actually up coming down the stretch. And then there was a couple, what would you call those, phantom foul calls, couple three-pointers, and by West Virginia. Because the thing is, they want to see 2 things. South Carolina got upset by Iowa last year.
Yeah.
And then LSU beat Iowa
in the final.
Yeah, and then they said, if we get this, so South Carolina is totally on a mission to get there. LSU wants to get back, and now we have that little fight incident that we had in the conference championship. So they want to have another, because fighting is cool. Well, whatever. And they want that in there. So you can see the NBA, the WNBA is going that way. They got that funnel where they want everything to pour and come out really nicely because they could have the biggest television. They're predicting they could have the biggest audience for a final of a women's college basketball game in history. And once again, when you get the attendance up for the PWHL, I hope the same thing goes for the girls.
Sure.
I hope it pulls out that ends up being that way, but we're going to have to wait and see. They have to play the games, correct?
Yeah, but and it's lining up to be an Iowa LSU rematch for the Elite Eight. So that could be a lot of fun.
That's what they're hoping for.
That's what I'm hoping for.
God bless America.
Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark.
Yes. And all those women hand things they do at each other. I don't know what that means, but I'm a boy. But in any event, it should be interesting. And like I said, it'll be leaning towards they're saying because the attendance is already up. The TV ratings are already up. They're compatible with the men's, they're saying, which I don't believe after this weekend because these games are going to be crazy and there's a lot of blue blood left. So there'll be some huge audience.
I saw some of the ratings for the men's game. One of them hit like 10 million viewers.
Yeah.
I believe it was one of the UNC games.
Yeah, well, the blue blood team, man.
Yep.
But there's another bet you could make in the first round, which you can do you can do this, and I'm going, this is an amazing bet. You bet on how many, if a team can double the score.
Oh.
And it's happened in the last 10 years, every tournament.
Like just one team has to do it.
One team has to double another team.
One does it to a 16 like pretty regularly. It feels like
you think you don't, but they win by 30. So, but I'm talking about like I think it was Duke did it, where Duke was or Connecticut did it. Yeah, they won 120 to 40 something. You know what I mean? So if you double, like you think about, they can double the score, but not really. If you win 90 to 60, that's not doubling the score.
True.
You're winning by 30, right? But to double the score and the fact that it's happened like the last 10 years or something, I'm going to bet that next year when the tournament starts. You know what I mean? So keep your eyes open. And you know what it is, though, number one, which we love at the House That Happens, is the highest level of competition. That's what we're always cheering for. And this girls' tournament, high level of competition.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? High level of competition.
Moving it from college to the NBA, high level. Speaking of high level of competition, we will give a quick shout out to our boy, the Joker, even though the Nuggets lost last night.
Tough game.
He's still the MVP.
Oh, yeah. No. Let's here at the House That Happens, we're going to try to get our vote in. We're going to send it to somewhere. The Joker's the MVP.
Hell yeah.
You know what? There's no one else. And who they lose to last night? Milwaukee. Phoenix, yeah. Durant had a great game. Yeah, okay, that. And then in Milwaukee.
Denver was missing
Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray, yeah.
And Clippers had a full house, but Beal was still walking around like he was smoking weed in the court.
The Suns, you mean?
What?
Suns.
The Suns, yeah. Bradley Beal. You see him walking around? If he doesn't get the ball, it looks like he doesn't care. It's just brutal. I'd punch him in the face if he's on my team.
Yeah, you said it's not a big wonder why that team's not looking so good.
Well, you know what? This is one of the subjects that's come up, and I want to know what you want to think about it. But I hear a lot of shows, especially ESPN. What if Durant, Curry, and LeBron, well, two of the three could possibly not be in the playoffs?
Yeah.
So what?
That's still a big deal. That's like Crosby, Capitals might make it in this year, but it's like Crosby and Ovechkin missing the playoffs, like what happened last year. Yeah. Sure, they're at the end of their
careers,
but still.
But that doesn't bother. Yeah, I know it is, but that doesn't bother me because
it doesn't bother me, but it's something to talk about.
Well, no, that's because of the ratings, they say. But I'm saying of Ant-Man. Do you see the Ant-Man? See that dunk he did over that Collins kid this week? Did you see him fly?
Oh, yeah.
That was amazing. You know what I mean? And do you see our boy Shea? Shea's been playing like tearing it up. He's not gonna make the playoffs this year, but we're just a couple years away from Wembanyama being a regular in the playoffs. OKC is a good team. Minnesota's a good team. We'll get to our power rankings in a minute, but I'm tired of people telling me, "Oh, it's going to be bad if I don't see these guys." Shut up. You know what? Listen, if we get a Minnesota Timberwolves OKC 7-game series with these young cats playing like we've never seen before, aren't you going to be entertained?
Oh, yeah.
Because we've had the marquee guys there before. Remember a couple years ago, Milwaukee, Boston, Game 7? Worst Game 7 I've ever seen in my life, which has the potential to be. But you know the great thing about the Western Conference, though, is it's going to save the whole season. I don't care who gets knocked out. Because Denver, okay, if you're Denver, the first round, you might have to play Golden State.
Golden State might not even make it to the play-in.
That's not. Here comes
Houston,
Houston,
just
my
one
team.
game back.
Let's go back.
How many games in a row have they won?
I think it's 10.
10 in a row.
Okay, so here's the thing. Go back to our preseason score. I said the surprise team of the NBA would be the Houston Rockets. Check the tapes. That's my call. They fell off. I thought they got an outside shot at making the playoffs. Right now, they are an outshot playoffs. Here's the thing. I think they got to play Golden State twice, which is to their advantage. One of those guys got to play. I think they play one of them twice. They play somebody twice. If you check their schedule, I think they got to play somebody.
They play Golden State once.
Is it the Lakers twice?
But it's at home. No, they don't play the Lakers.
Oh, they're done. Because there's only 11 games left.
They played Dallas twice.
Oh, it's Dallas. Okay, yeah. And Dallas is, you know what? I wouldn't want to play Dallas. They're in that
weird middle ground where it's like they're fighting between the playoffs and the play-in.
And the play-in, yeah. So you know the best thing is to get to 6th spot. Nobody wants to play in.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But it wouldn't bother me.
To get the 6th seed?
No, it wouldn't bother me if these guys get knocked out. If there's no playoffs, there's no Curry, there's no LeBron, there's no Durant. They've been around for a while. You know what I mean? They'd be a little pissed, but they'll pull away in their Escalade, and go sit in their golden toilet. Come on.
I predict the Lakers will make the playoffs, though. They'll find a way.
Yes, you see what they did last night in the double to overtime win? Like, it was crazy. And they had no LeBron.
There you go.
And no LeBron. Like, I don't know. I just think they sandbag. They're the biggest sandbaggers in the freaking...
Davis is going to be a matchup problem for a lot of teams come playoff time.
Except the Joker. The Joker owns him.
I didn't say the Joker.
The Joker owns him.
And the Kings. And the
Kings.
Too,
yeah. Well, that's our Kings boys. They've been just treading water. They were heading like, here we go to 6th place.
The West is a gauntlet, though. We've said it, though.
Oh, my God. It's like, that's why I like it now. Because that means, and the best teams win, right?
I mean, it seems like the NBA has been like this for 15 years?
But you always know this. The four top teams at the end, the Final Four and those 4 teams would always be there. Golden State, the Lakers, whatever. They always seem to be there in the last few years. All those teams floated around until Denver raised their head.
Lakers, yes and no.
Yeah, because they had a little bit of problem at the end of Kobe until LeBron came back. But Denver raised its head, and that's what I'm saying. Now it's a team like Minnesota. Now it's a teams like OKC. We did Denver 10 years ago. We weren't talking about them like this.
No.
So why now it's their chance. Now everybody wants to see the Joker. You know what I mean? So if these new guys push the old guys out of the way and they get in there, this is their time for them to be the face of the NBA, because that's a big joke. Who's the face of the NBA? Oh, LeBron and Curry. Tatum's not, because he blew the game, so he blew his MVP chance in the whole 9 yards. You know what I mean? And
Giannis is one of the faces of the NBA.
Oh, yeah. He'll be there. But, I mean, look at the difference. You look at the West, like you said, it's a gauntlet. Like, I mean, who plays who in the first round? We don't even know. It's all...
That's going to come down to, the last game of the season.
Yes,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at the jockey. Even look at the Clippers. See if the Clippers lost 5 in a row. They'd be in the play-in. They'd be in the play-in. That's how fragile it is out there. Meanwhile, in the East, the question is, can anyone beat Boston? You know what I mean? It's the exact opposite, which is fascinating. Reality TV.
Yes.
At its finest, going out west. But we will discuss who we think is going to make the playoffs next week or when we get to the end, because it's going to be great.
I'd argue it's pretty much set in both conferences. In the West, there's one play-in spot that's still up for grabs, the Houston Golden State one. Yeah. I'm leaning Houston the way it goes.
Oh, I hope so too. I hope so. That Houston team's amazing. And Fred VanVleet, our boy Freddie, he'll get a lot of props for that. If they were to make the playoffs, he'd get some minor MVP votes. Or he should get some kind of team consideration because he's leading that team. Him and our boy Dylan Brooks.
Sure.
But they're a good young team. So we'll wait to see. But my number one thing is I don't really care if those teams don't make it. I just want to have good teams playing good basketball in the playoffs. That's why we wait all year to get to this.
Exactly.
I think. You know what I mean?
We'd be remiss if we didn't bring up our beloved Toronto Raptors. 12-game losing streak, unfortunately. Still, basically, all the starters are out.
Oh, we're cooked. We're going to take our 6th pick. You know that, right?
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I was ready for that before you were.
I wanted to keep hanging in there. You know what I'm saying? But no, we're not going to talk about the Raptors because before we go any further, I got to bring something else up here that is another elephant in the room. But there's a couple things before I get there that gets me really thinking about the old school to the new school. Remember, the Joker one time on the Jalen Jacoby show used to be called the stretch mark whatever who couldn't jump up onto a curb. It was a run joke. I'm saying they said that affectionately, not derogatorily. Mm-hmm. And they said this guy could be the face of the NBA someday. 2-time MVP. He's going to win this year 3 times. A lot of people haven't won 3 MVPs.
And you were so upset about the talk of him even winning last year.
Oh, no kidding. I was going enough. But I mean, I want to admit this. You know when a player grows on you and you realize, you know what? Why have I missed out on this guy? That's my point right now. I've never had nothing bad to say about the Joker, but now the more I see him, the cerebral game that he plays on natural instincts combined with his cerebral, the guy is just too much fun to watch. You know what I mean? He's absolutely amazing. So just want to get that in there. But there's another thing I wanted to get in here really quickly before we go any further about the not caring. Sorry. And once again, it'll lead into our biggest thing we're talking about, you better bet on that, is the fact that, did you see Draymond Green got tossed out earliest in the thing, okay?
2 technicals very early in the game.
Okay, we're not, let's get something here. No Draymond Green fans, I don't know about you. The house that happens is not pumping no Draymond Green tires.
Absolutely not.
The reason I'm bringing it up is the most ludicrous thing I heard is the crew chief said this had nothing to do with Draymond Green's reputation. What?
Well, we don't know what was said.
I heard that he didn't ask him if he was going to see Oppenheimer or whatever that movie's called. Oppenheimer. He said no, they were going to go see Godzilla against King Kong. Another insane, stupid thing. But
I'm actually going to see that soon.
Oh, my God.
Just fun. Monsters beating the crap out of each other. What's wrong with that?
That's what they started in the 30s, the entertainment people, because it was the cheapest form of entertainment. Now we're getting 100 years later, and they still let you on entertainment because they're going to use AI and green screens. It's the same story. It's the same story. Stop it. You know, go Godzilla. Stop it. Okay. I'm just a gnarly old fuck. Okay, well, that's...
And I'm not the biggest Godzilla guy, but...
I used to think they were hilarious when I was kids because on Friday and Saturday, it'd be like Godzilla versus Twang or that other monster and all that Japanese craziness, whatever. But that's not my point. My point is for that guy to say that had nothing to do with Draymond Green's reputation is absolutely insane.
Well, what else is he supposed to say?
I don't know, but I think he pulled the trigger a little quick, even though Steve Kerr said that he thought that Draymond pushed it just a bit too far. But
well, if your coach is admitting that.
He said he might have, but he says he's not sure.
He might have.
So I guess
that's
they're
coach
trying
speak
to
for it, buddy. You fucked up.
Probably. But let's take it one step further. Okay, Mr. Referee, if you're going to tell me this, can you explain this one to me? Rudy Gobert got fouled 1.2 seconds into that game. Oh, by the way, the same crew was responsible for Rudy Gobert just paying a fine for saying something about the referees. Just saying. Okay, you know what I mean? And
a foul's a foul. It doesn't matter if it comes 1.2 seconds
that's in. That's the eye in the sky. Should have come down and said, referee, guess what? You're getting, that's bad. You don't get to refer a game. You can learn how to do this better. Tie your shoes a little bit. Come on, bro. They went up in the air. It was incidental. I couldn't figure it out. I rewound it 3 times. Who got the foul? Oh, the other guy? Oh, who got the foul? Oh, Rudy. Oh, there's only, 47 minutes and 59 seconds left in the game. Come on, man. That's insane. Which tells me when we're trying to give people a benefit of a doubt, let's get to when you're talking about, what if I bet on that game? You bet, right?
Right.
Because the other issue is,
but...
okay, no, I do. I walk my dog. I know where the Proline station is, you know. They change the games too quickly because you do it at home in the night before and you get back and they change the game numbers. You got to do it again. I'm pissed. Okay. But in any event, this just shows you like when people start questioning the game, because what the bottom line is, gambling's everywhere. It sponsors everything all the time. That's cool. And we like it because I've been doing it too. However, you must never let it ever breathe a bad breath on the integrity of the game. Look what happened close to home, bro. Our new Toronto Raptor. Remember I was telling you before?
Oh, yeah.
Can we explain to John Q. Public what this schmuck's up to?
Oh, he's involved in a little betting scandal with his player props.
It's insane. Now, we've talked about this. Everyone knows what props are. I think everybody, if you don't know what props are, look it up.
Yeah, it's basically like, is this guy going to get like 10 assists today? Is he going to get 20 points? Yeah. That kind of stuff.
Okay, so This is where you compare it to the whole nonsense with Ohtani and the $500,000 increments being sent over, and you get confused because when there's $700 million at the top, I mean, what's $4.5 million, right?
Sure.
Okay, and Ohtani's the face of baseball. But who is this guy? Isn't he on a 10-day contract? They just gave him a full contract. So guess what he did? The over, suspiciously, he only had to get, I think it was 4 points or 2 assists. Like, the numbers were so goddamn low, it was insane. Why would you bet under? Why would you bet over? Why would Vegas put it there? However, there was a cash in as this guy got sick during the game. Oh, it happened twice. So now there's a full-blown investigation. Probably in the future, a couple shows, we're going to be able to find out about this guy. But suddenly he's not dressing anymore for the Raptors.
Well, as you would expect, he wouldn't be.
But isn't that insane?
That is insane.
It's just crazy, and I agree. Like what the NCAA said, they're going to you can no longer put props on any of our players in college.
It's probably a good idea.
Very good idea, because those guys aren't got no $1 million contracts yet.
Some of them don't.
Well, the NIT,
portal,
yeah. Wait a sec. Some of those guys might already have their cash, so they wouldn't be doing something that stupid.
NIL, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just that kind of stuff upsets me. Okay, because I did something like, okay, I do bet. Okay, can I tell you what my bet is today? I bet $1 on all 8 teams on point spread on March Madness, because the odds of me getting all 8 of those right are insane. But when I'm watching the game, when I go home, it'll be interesting to see how far that ticket goes.
Sure.
Because it's kind of some $1 entertainment. If I can get entertained for $1, I'm good. Now imagine if all 4 games tonight I've got right. I'm going in tomorrow excited because I got 4 games to go. Oh, by the way, how much did I say that I bet?
$1.
$161 if it comes in. So when they say those commercials about bet smart, bet within your means, I am the poster child. So come to me if you're going to do it possibly, and we'll stay away from prop bets from guys that are betting under and then saying they got a toothache and leaving the game.
That's fair.
Agreed? Come
Agreed.
on. That's just, I don't know. It takes away from the game itself. You know, I'm really, really sad that we're talking about it, but just beware. Like, I mean, like, what about the people that bet on that game? Like, that affects it in so many levels. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And gambling is what? The fire hose. You know what I mean? That's what it is, a fire hose of money.
Right.
So there's no going back. We're not going to turn fire hose off now. You're not going to turn on overdrive when it's going to say Dunkin' Donuts. FanDuel is staying there. You know what I mean? You're not going to see McAfee in the corner and it's going to say best bet. That's not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
How many betting commercials do you see in an hour on TV?
Too many.
Thank you. So this is just got to, come on.
I agree.
Agreed?
I agree.
As we're going to still bet on the games.
Power rankings?
Yes, sir. I'll give you the first shot at it this week. How's that?
Sounds great.
Okay.
Number 5, the New York Knicks.
Whoa.
They are on a roll lately.
Whoa.
And I think they're the only team that can give a team that's going to be on this list later a run for their money in the East.
If 4, everybody's healthy. But we'll discuss that later.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Number 4, the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay.
Number 3, the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Okay.
Number 2, that team I alluded to before, the Boston Celtics. And number 1, the defending champs with our boy
the Joker.
The Denver Nuggets.
Okay, so our lists are really, really close, but I've got a couple things on the side, and I really looked at the Knicks because they're coming down the stretch now. They're 10-2.
Yep.
In their last stretch. So, and I think they are a team that can bang with them, but they did not quite make my top 5 because of what I've seen Milwaukee doing lately. So my number 5 is Milwaukee. Then my number 4 is OKC, as opposed to you having the Timberwolves. I've just switched them the other way. Mm-hmm. So I got OKC first, then the Timberwolves, who are still maintaining what they're doing without Cat, which is a big thing that made me think.
Huge.
You know what I mean? So if they're in Anthony Edwards, box office people, check them out. And, of course, number 2 is the Boston Celtics. And the number 1 is those Nuggets from Colorado and our boy, the Joker. Great commercials, too.
Great commercials.
Gotta love the guy. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be interesting in the next week or so, because when this boils down, like, you wouldn't have a lot to say. We'd be beating a dead horse talking about the same things over and over again there. But these playoffs should be interesting.
Yeah, and it's going to be this week. A lot of teams clinching, a lot of teams getting eliminated, much like the NHL.
You think that's going to happen? I seen a graphic on TV the other day, and I don't know who showed it up, and they said it's so cool to do it again. But now that they show it, the teams that have missed the playoffs are like in gray.
Yep.
So when you put the screen up, you know, Columbus, San Jose, Chicago, Anaheim.
I think Columbus has been eliminated officially too.
Have they? Are they the only? They're probably the only one. There's not even.
I think they're the only ones in the East. Yeah, they are.
The only ones eliminated.
In the East.
In the East, yeah.
In the West, Anaheim, Chicago, San Jose, and Arizona.
Oh, yeah, Arizona, yeah. That.
Then the only team that's clinched is the Rangers, I believe.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Rangers are a funny team to me. There's just something. I see them one game and I go, wow. Then I see them another game and I go,
They go the way Shesterkin, or I guess their goaltending goes.
I think they could be a little tougher, too. Like banging-wise?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because one of the things I wanted to bring up about this, now that we're talking about hockey, we can get to it really quick, is, and you and I can argue about this till the cows come home, but I want to know this. If a hockey game, low shots on goal, a little bit of a low scoring, oh, that's a low event hockey game. Why is that low event? I'm going to tell you why. Because I say the intensity, the hitting, the banging is just as good in that game as the other. And the reason I'm alluding to this is because the other night I got to watch the game side by side. It was the Bruins in Florida, Toronto in New Jersey. Oh, you should have just watched the two games, man. It was like you're watching two different sports at times. Like like it was incredible to notice the difference in the game. Now, of course, with that horrible Jack Edwards, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be slamming the guy. I do a better job. You do a better job. I don't get it. That's the Americans. There's a lot of Americana in what he does, so maybe that's why.
I think he just appeals to the Boston market. I don't think I think he's hated by everyone else.
The Boston market deserves that, then, because we know what we think of the Boston market, okay? But in any event, as I was saying, the styles of the two games is unbelievable. And what was happening is they were talking about the excitement in the Leaf game. Because the game seemed to be going a little bit faster, so they were talking about this, and like, we don't get many shots on goal. But I actually thought the intensity of the game, Boston-Florida, was more intense because they were like 8 minutes into the third period, and the game was tied, and it was low scoring. Then Boston stole the game. Just stole it. Got a game, a little bit of a penalty. Next thing you know, they ended up winning 4-2. Maybe it was 5-2 because a couple empty net goals. Mm-hmm. So the score was not indicative. You just looked up and see the score, and you said, oh, Boston kicked them. No. A couple empty net goals. Which goes to your theory, which I think is nuts. I'm not pulling my goalie that early. Stop it. You know what I mean?
I guess you don't want to win then.
No, I'll find out. We're going to be more intense. We're going to be old school intense. Steal the puck, get back there and get in. And we'll do it with 90 seconds left. Not 3 minutes.
I love it. That's straight from your buddy's playbook, though, Patrick Waugh.
Oh, my God. I'm telling you, the more I'm watching it, and I think it's not a bad thing, there's just this, like, okay, you're probably even more intensely a sports fan as I am. Maybe not, but we're here for a reason.
Wow, okay. Am I being called out?
No, in this way. I have to respect the intensity with which you look at the game. You appreciate it just as much as I do. You're going to race home and get to front of the TV just as fast as I am. It's the way that we look at the game that kind of makes me go, wow, there has something different going on here. And one of them is low event hockey. That's not low event hockey, man, because guess what's happening? That is just as intense as this game. As a matter of fact, it's more intense because those bad plays that scored goals, the butterfly that went past wall, there wasn't that going on in this game. So why was it more exciting? Just because they scored 9 goals?
I don't think that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. But
who's saying that?
They were talking about it on the game, and they like when we got to MMA Network, they were talking about the games. I wanted to see after the games what they were saying, and they were talking about the level of game might have been a little less than the Jersey Leaf game because of action-wise.
And who was saying this though? I don't get it.
A panel on MLB.
NHL. My God! Stop! You need to turn that channel off. I think.
Oh, I know.
Every time you bring them up, it's always the worst.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm bringing it up now. Because when I'm listening to this, I'm going, "What am I watching?" And that girl was on it too, so I gave it less credit. Sorry. Edit that.
No, that's too late.
Okay, edit that. Anyways, but that's what I'm saying. It drives me nuts when I watch that because let's add on to my other beef lately, bro. Hockey, fighting in hockey has lost its mind again. Every show, they bring it up. If they're a fight, they're going to get on fight. They got to do fight. We're going to fight. Remember we were talking about when we started this podcast, what did I say to you? Don't ever take fighting out of hockey. Ever. It needs to be there. But I didn't think it was going to get back to this. This is insane. Like, you don't no matter. TSN, Sportsnet, ESPN, NHL Network. Right away, the highlight is to the fights. Now, we got some crazy-ass fights going on. Like, Marchand decided to fight a guy that's never fought in his life. The guy's big. You don't know how to fight. You're going to get hurt. No, the big defenseman on,
sure.
What's his name? I think he's the Swedish guy, the Finnish guy. Guy's big as a monster. Wouldn't know how to fight his way out of a back. He's going to drive you to the boards. So everyone jumped up and down, especially Jack Edwards. You see the toughness of that Marchand fighting a guy? Guy's never fought in his whole career. But he had to take, because Marchand was being a rat.
Sure.
And so this guy said, fuck you, I'm not taking your shit, buddy. And then Marchand just mugged him. And you know, and then the crowd all went out of that.
Yeah.
And then first thing was, highlights on 2 shows. Right off, when I'm watching sport, because I leave it on because I always say to myself, let's watch a sports show and see what they're going to glamorize tonight. Goddamn fighting. You know they're all going to get fooled, bro. You know why? There's no fighting in the playoffs.
Oh, I know.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm getting at here? So, what the Yanks going to be pissed off if we get some high-level, low-event games with no fighting?
However, the people at NHL Network, they can suck it. So
okay, I agree. I don't watch it enough, but I seem to catch the stuff.
You seem to watch it too much because you bring it up every show.
Well, what happens is I got 4 screens on, so I just leave it on. Like, let's leave on. You come down to my basement. MLB right now, NFL Network's on too, but I don't watch it enough because there's not enough coverage. But if you come down and now it'll be MLB because of hockey and that. I got 4 screens, bro. 2 of them just leave on there. So if something comes up that catches my eye, turn it up to see what they're saying. Because it's the middle of the day. I'm reading. I'm preparing for the show. What's going on in the rest of the world? I leave it on. Oh, this is interesting. Thinking I turn it up.
Right.
But you're right. This NHL Network is bad.
Suck. They suck.
They're bad. So don't you agree, though? Like, when we get to this, like, everybody, my point is, and I don't want to take the fighting away, like, how much has been glamorized? I keep bringing up the guy, the Empire State Building guy, and the old school fights. They don't want to allude to the fact that we just had a guy commit suicide that was a brawler. They don't want to bring that up, though, do they?
No.
And they don't want to talk about player safety when this shit's going on, do they? You know, but in the playoffs, it will affect, because I don't think there'll be that much fighting in the playoffs.
No, there rarely is
risky.
Fighting.
It's like the price to fight in the playoffs. Now, if there's I hope the referees know the guys bang each other and grab each other and they go. Okay, because I don't, and if there's an instigator, you know, all that kind of stuff. That's why I went away. And that didn't hurt hockey, did it?
The instigator?
No, no. Less fighting in the playoffs. I never noticed it. I'm happy for the quality of the game.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So people out there, especially God bless America, slow down on this shit. You know what I mean? It's not going anywhere.
No, I think the whole thing of the low shot, low event, I think that's all nonsense.
Low hanging fruit too.
Possibly.
You know.
But let's get to the actual nitty gritty, the content itself. One team that has just been surging up the standings lately, the Nashville Predators.
Wow.
They have not lost a game in regulation since the U2 incident.
Wow. That long?
They've lost 2 games in overtime. That's it.
Wow. No, they're on a roll. They're on a mad heater. And you know what it is? I've just last show we should have brought it up then because I've been seeing it, but it doesn't register because they're Nashville. You know what I mean? It's only Nashville.
They just keep going. They're like the Energizer Bunny.
Roman Josi, as you said, MVP candidate stuff.
Serious MVP candidate.
He
could steal the Norris from Quinn Hughes as well.
It's going to be close.
He's got 19 goals already.
I know, and he's playing good, and he's playing well, except for.
And he had a slow start too. Let's not forget.
Yeah, because we were talking about it at the beginning of the year. Where is he? Because remember, with the whole team, they had injuries. They brought it all together, and they got Buddy in net.
Soros.
Yeah, they got a Buddy. Yeah,
New Jersey's going to go after him, but I don't think they're going to get him.
Oh, he's solid. No goal.
If you're Nashville, why do you trade him? He's small, but
so he's quick as a cat.
Yeah, exactly.
He's cat quick. But no, I'm very happy with Nashville. I'm very happy with those markets. So I'm one of these guys where I don't think what the networks think. I think what I want, which is not selfish. It's just that if Nashville comes up and keeps playing the way they are, they're playing right now like one of the best teams in the NHL.
They could upset a team in the first round. I don't think anyone would be surprised.
No, I bet you nobody wants to play them.
Hell no.
And by the way, their top 6 forwards are big boys. And they got Josi and a couple of
Ryan
guys.
McDonough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Old school guy back there to have it too. And then they also got that guy.
Tampa Bay still misses him. I'll stand by that.
Oh, I know that big. That was a salary cap thing, though, for them in some respects.
Maybe you should have got rid of Sergachev instead or something. Just try and keep that run going. No easy moves.
I think they took Sergachev because he's younger.
I get that.
That's probably why other McDonough's been great. He's haunted me for his whole career. What do you mean? Don't talk what we got for him. Oh my God, I'm gonna go.
You guys don't make that run in 2009 if it wasn't for Scott Gomez, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
Really?
It was the top line center.
The Gomez dilemma. I'm going to shut up, okay?
It got ugly at the end. It got ugly at the end.
You know, you don't always remember the end. You don't remember the beginning. Okay, remember
There was the
that.
website, has Scott Gomez scored yet?
Oh, stop it. You're killing me. Just killing me.
Then when he finally did score is the gif of like the guy with the big eyes.
Oh, yeah. It was ruthless. In any event, you know what I'm saying. Nashville's a serious team. And I hope they make the run, and I hope they do the upsets, because one of the things I'm so happy for is in my retirement, this is the first year that I'm going to be the Stanley Cup playoffs start, and I'm going to be on my couch live in real time. I'm so excited. I can't even imagine how excited I'm going to be.
Just a few weeks away.
Not even. I think it's like 20-some days. April 22nd's last game, right? Or
Yeah.
April 18th.
April, something like that.
And then April 20-something is when the playoffs start. I do believe.
Exciting times.
Yes, it is. Very exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Which brings us to the regular type of discussions that we have to talk about hockey. And I want to throw something out there.
Well, I want to keep it on the West for a little second.
Okay.
One team that's going the opposite way, kind of maybe coming back, the Vegas Golden Knights, though.
They're going to make it. I just don't think they got their lineup together yet. They've lost a couple weird games, though, eh?
They have.
Really weird. How do you lose?
Again, well, we talked about this just before the show. End of the season, the games get weird. Bad teams start beating good teams for no real good reason.
Okay, but they're still 4 up. I don't think anyone can catch them.
6 up now.
6 up now,
And
yeah,
only
okay.
a game or a point back of LA for that third seed in the Pacific.
But I think
still,
LA's
it's a
got
little
their
shocking.
shit together, too, because LA wouldn't really put it. They beat Vancouver the other night. That was a good hockey game. Did you see that game? Vancouver and LA?
But my faith in LA has been shaken, though.
Well, because they had the same, when you think about it, they had an Edmonton streak. It's just that they didn't do it at the beginning. Like, when you think about it, Edmonton started, 2 and 1,000? Like, with that middle stretch of LA, because remember, I was all over LA. LA's going to be there. They're my team. They're going to go. I think it was that they had an 18-game stretch where they couldn't do shit. That's a lot of games, buddy.
Yeah.
But they seemed to righted the ship. And you know what? The kid was playing okay, but Talbot's back playing good games. So they're playing that tandem. Yeah. And Talbot was amazing against Vancouver the other night. And the guy in Vancouver, the backup guy who's not bad, he let in a couple just a mall goals.
Vancouver's missing Demko for sure.
Oh, yeah. Like, he just, I don't know. It's kind of weird that way. But I'm not worried about Vegas. As a matter of fact, what do you go, okay, now Vegas gets in. Do you want to play them in the first round?
No.
So
I still think they
that's
can go
a great
back to the
enigma.
finals.
Oh, there you go. So wait, we can't say both. So I'm just saying this. I want nothing to do with Vegas. If I'm playing, take
I
down
missed this about Demko. They put him on long-term injured reserve.
Told you this was going to be more than they thought. And it could be their downfall.
I mean, that's like a retroactive move, but still.
But still, nothing good comes after but. You know what's really, really going to be a drag, though? Here's what's really going to be a drag. We've already had our questions about Winnipeg. After a great season that they've had. Remember at the beginning of the year, we were kicking. We just pushed Winnipeg right off the cliff. Okay?
You were more than I said they would be like pushing for a playoff spot.
Oh,
you
no,
were not.
I just pulled the brick out of the wheel and watched them roll down the hill. Bye, get out of here. So I'm sorry, Winnipeg. All right, now, they've had a great season. Vancouver was expected to compete for a playoff spot. That was their call.
Coming into the season?
I
didn't believe it, but
now look at that.
I wouldn't say that many people outside of Vancouver were buying into that.
Okay, but look where they're at now, though.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Not taking away from that. They've proven us all wrong.
Okay, exactly. Okay, so here's my point, though. We could lose them both in the first round.
Winnipeg more likely than Vancouver.
Yeah, but what if Vancouver gets Vegas in the first round and they don't have Demko?
Or Nashville.
Or Nashville and they don't have Demko. That's what I'm saying. I was looking at either one of those teams, especially Nashville, because you know what? Nashville's another size team. Like, I seen them. I tuned into what they were playing, went on the box and checked them the other night when they were winning. They big.
Although history has told us that Nashville is a strong regular season team, but more than likely they'll lose in the first round.
Yeah. But, I mean, that reputation's got to go. Eventually you win one more.
Sometimes not.
Do you want to play Nashville in the first round?
I mean, I wouldn't.
I'd rather play
anyone.
them in Vegas.
I wouldn't want to play anyone in the West, to be honest.
No, and you know what? Isn't that interesting? It's getting that way in the East too, though. Even though Washington gets in there, yeah. Bye. Like it's just it's a crazy.
Even Tampa and Philly, I think, are going to be.
Oh, Philly should be gone. Their season's wrecked. Even Torch is saying that maybe he pulled the wrong lever now. Like he could be the one for the Malays in Philadelphia now because I love Torch manning up like that. Like saying, maybe.
I think he's just getting old. He's maybe like, maybe time to move on to a different chapter of my life.
Well, how old is he now? It's my age, isn't he? 63? He's in his 60s, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. But he's still attacked.
Well, and he's given, the assistant coaches some more, media responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
They're still kind of grooming them for that, which I like.
Oh, I do, too. You know what? I'd love to go for a beer with him.
Oh, it'd be a riot.
He's the kind of guy that you do want to go beer with. But what else do you want to say about the West there? Is something else you wanted to bring up? Colorado, maybe? Are they erratic and more erratic than I thought? I was ready to race them to the top, but I'm looking at them lately and going, they can be had.
They're 9-1 in their last 10, though.
What's that?
9-1 in their last 10. They just came off. They lost their last game, but they had a 9-game win streak.
Who did they beat? Check to see who they beat. You and I.
Well, they beat Edmonton. They beat Vancouver. They beat St. Louis.
St. Louis not in the playoff. So they also beat Anaheim. They also beat San Jose.
St. Louis is no pushover, though. They're good. They're a good
no,
team.
They're solid. If they had a better start, they could be a.
If they were in the East, they'd be in the playoffs.
Oh, think about that. Ooh, that's kind of ugly for you to say that, but it's true.
It is true.
But you know what? I was sold on Colorado last couple of times in my power rankings. I was jumping on them because I like the way they play, but there's something about them that's. I don't know. I
think their forward group's a lot more complete now with the addition of Casey Middlestat. Plus, there's the X factor of Gabriel Landeskog maybe coming back into the picture, which would be huge.
Mega. Beyond that, mega. The pressure would take off McKinnon alone. And McKinnon is...
Not that he's feeling the pressure, I don't think, anyways.
I was just going to say, by the way, I don't think he loses any sleep. Is he... I
think he's put himself as the favorite for the Hart Trophy.
I do, too. I think he's pretty well there. I love the way he plays, though. I didn't realize McKinnon's already 30, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot how many...
Drafted to 2013, right?
I forgot how long he's been around, but now he's easily top 5 in the
question. He's 28.
Oh, 28.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 10 years. Yeah,
in September, 28. He'll be 29, though.
Yeah, okay, but in any way, I was thinking 10 years, but that you're 18 when you're drafted. So, yeah, 28 would have been the ticket. Great hockey player. Love his style. Love the team, the way they skate, but that Landeskog thing could be the difference makers. They still got Makar, and their goalie is solid.
Yes.
So let's talk about the playoffs. They could be very well one of the teams that get there in the end, but I'm not really sure. Something about them I don't know. And I like Colorado. You know me. I'm talking good about them. Something when I look at them, I go...
Like a Colorado-Dallas series, I honestly don't know which way that would go.
Oh, that's right.
And that could be the battle in the second round.
And you know what? I'm leaning towards Dallas more now. I've been liking them all year, but now I'm kind of... They're good, and they've been missing a couple guys. Segan's been still out, and who else? One of their defensemen been out, I think, but he's coming back. They'll all be back for the playoffs anyway,
sure.
So we're going to be good. But it should be interesting in the West. I think the West is going to be more interesting than the East in NBA and NHL.
Although first round of the playoffs is always a
who knows?
Great time in hockey, yeah. Tons of upsets.
Who knows? Yes. Did you know anything else about the West?
No, you want to move it to...
No, my first thing I want to say this, and I got to be honest about it. I'm not being derogatory because, I've really learned to love this guy, but, Austin Matthews is a great cherry picker, eh?
All the great goal scorers are.
Oh, he's just... Did you see he get away with the offside last night?
No, I missed that.
Oh, it was so quick.
You mean on Tuesday?
On Tuesday, yeah.
New Jersey.
Yeah. You didn't see it?
I was working.
Oh, okay. He was
I saw the highlights, but I didn't notice that.
Because Toronto would never admit to that. Toronto, come on, sports. He was that much. You're over, and it was a great pass. The way he broke behind the defenseman, and I think it was Benoit.
Well, that's why the challenge is there. That's on New Jersey not to call that.
Well, they were saying it. Are they going to call it? They're going to call it. They were going to call it, but they just had a penalty, and I think that New Jersey froze because it was so fast. The puck dropped. They moved away, and then they showed the replay, and sure enough, but it was so fast. And you know what? And that's why I don't want to really, because all the great goal scorers are cherry pickers. Okay, let's cut to the chase. But
Phil Esposito was called a cherry picker.
Oh, my God. I seen that guy in his day, man. He had an office in front of the net, you know what I mean, with a secretary. Come on. How do you think he scored 76 goals in 72 or whatever it was? Come on. Well, Bobby Orr helped a lot, too.
Sure.
But I'm just saying that Matthews is great defensively. He's become way better as every year go by. He's
two-way force.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So you hate to put him in that category, but he knows when to sneak. You know, he knows when to sneak. And you know what he should have had against Jersey? He should have had a hat trick.
Sure.
Should have had a hat trick. Allen robbed him a couple times there. Robbed Nylander a couple times. Like, Allen, what was the final shots on goal? 40 to 20 something?
Something like that.
It was insane.
It was bad.
Yeah, they had him there. And I felt bad for Wall, especially on the knuckleball. Like the shot came in and it you know, one of those ones and you know what he should have done. And this is like playing baseball. Don't play, put your body behind it. He just put his glove and the puck just, it was awful when you seen it. But I mean, it was like a knuckleball. He got burned, but why not move your body over? Be sure. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of times they say. Goalies are their own worst enemy.
Sure.
Move over. Stop it. Don't do it. But I'm hoping Joseph Wall starts the playoffs for your beloved Toronto Maple Leafs.
The way it's going now, it's going to be Samsonov game 1. It has to be.
Because of his record?
Just the way that they've been going lately.
Well, they got 10 games, and I heard they're going to switch all the way in. They're not going to do your plan. They were doing that because Samsonov's been going full out in the practice. This has been precautionary to give Wall a couple extra shots at the can. But they play Boston twice, and they play Tampa Bay twice. Mm-hmm. So both guys will face each of them once. That should make the decision.
Should be interesting.
Should be, yes. Now, here's the other interesting thing. If the playoffs start tomorrow, I think the Toronto Maple Leafs should have Benoit as their top 6. I don't give a shit what you tell me.
Oh, I want to bring that up too. Edmondson finds his way out of my top 6.
Thank you.
Although Giordano back in the lineup tonight after a 12-game absence, and he scored tonight too.
Don't tell me anything else. I don't want to know anything. So you know what's going on in the game. I don't want to know. I'll go home and watch it. But you know what? Giordano is just what happened to Edmondson? He looks like a pylon out there. He hits people. But he hits them way over there.
Good depth. That's okay. We didn't give up too much to get him.
Exactly. And I know why he's there because the big thing is put him and McCabe out there.
Yeah.
Then you got Wall. Then everyone's going to be scared. You're going to come in the Leaf zone. You'll be looking for those guys. I mean, you might go around them, but you'll be looking for them.
If they catch you.
Yeah, if they catch you. Yeah, exactly. Because that's 2 big boys back there. You want them in the playoffs. And you know what? If that's your third line, because what's going on with Brody? His performance is rough.
On the left side, though, he's looked a lot better.
They gave him a game for maintenance. Go sit in the bench, maintenance. Hold your girlfriend's hand, your wife's hand. Okay, come on. Let's be true. Same like Evander Kane. They gave him a maintenance night. No, they didn't. You've been sucking. Go sit in the bench. Okay? McCabe, Brody jumps off the boards. What's the first
Brody's
thing
also had some personal stuff this year, too.
I've been hearing that. I don't want to know what it is, and I don't know how that shit leaks out, but I heard that it's like wife problems or something. I don't know.
Health problems with the wife, yeah.
Oh, that's not even good either. Well, in any event, let's pray for the best because we're all praying for his health. But I'm saying right now, if the playoffs were starting, I would have Edmondson and I'd have Benoit in there. Both of them because they started with a bang, especially if they get Florida. If they get Florida. It depends on who they play.
Well, the Leafs might actually fall back into the wild card.
I don't think Tampa Bay is going to pull it off.
Only 4 points back.
And they play twice. So we're going to have to see. Who are they playing tonight again? St.
Washington.
Louis? Oh, Washington. Okay, that should be...
Or 2 points back, Tampa, excuse me. Yeah. But the Leafs have...
2 games in hand.
1 game in hand.
Oh.
Tampa Bay has the tiebreaker, though, I believe.
Yes, they do. And what's the deal on Marner? Is he going to get back anytime soon? You think they're just going to ride him out till 2 games left?
I have no idea. It's kind of scaring me.
But he's been skating.
That's good.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
Still, it's like, when are you going to get in the lineup, buddy?
Oh, yeah, he's going to be needed. If they're going to make a run, they can't make a run without Marner.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So outside of that, they got to figure out, no, Leafs got no problems. We don't know when Marner's coming back. Don't know who their starting goalie's going to be. Don't know.
Well,
who
we figure who their starting goaltender is going to be.
They're just ready for the playoffs.
Everyone knows but you who their starting goaltender is going to be.
Okay, I'll just stay confused. I'll stay over here because you know what? It's the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Sammy, let's go.
Oh, I forgot to bring this great magazine. It was just before the start of the season when Connor McDavid. Remember when you got Sportsnet for a while? You got Sportsnet magazine.
I don't remember that.
Short. I'll bring in. It's the issue in the first one.
I have a couple issues of Sportsnet magazine, but
yeah. Okay. Anyways, I think I got it because I got the Super Sports Pack. So if you got Super Sports Pack, you got 6 months free.
Oh, I see.
Sportsnet magazine. Wait till you see who was drafted that year and where your boy Samsonov was drafted. I went, wow.
He was a first-round pick.
You're damn right he was, man.
20th overall?
Yeah, early 20s.
Yeah.
Early 20s. But, yeah, when I saw his place in the thing, I went, whoa, really, Samsonov? But he had a good junior career or a good wherever Russian career.
Yeah, but drafting goalies in the first round is always...
scary.
Yeah.
But you know what? If he plays another 5 years for Toronto, he's worth the 5, isn't he?
Well, I mean,
he's worth being a first-round pick.
Yeah, but the Leafs didn't take him in the first round. They got him off the
Washington
scrap
did.
heap.
Yeah, because I don't know what
Washington didn't get well because they wanted to sign Kemper, which has proven to be a bad mistake.
Yes. But you never know with goalies either.
Well, my thing. Don't pay the goalies because you never know.
Because you never know. Keep them $5 or $6 million. That's for damn sure.
They gave Kemper over 5. That's the problem.
Anyways, how I see it now, like you're saying, what's the only other thing that's disturbing me is I'm really sorry for Yzerman and the Red Wings. I think the wheels come off. They're not going to go back on, are they?
It's going to be tough. Does Patrick Kane ask for a trade in the offseason? Or, is he a free agent? I
think he's a free agent. So he'll just leave town. But he made them run. Like he was worth it bringing him in.
Oh, I don't disagree.
And he's at a point a game.
That's going to my thing is that's just tough for the Red Wings.
Oh.
Not being able to get anything in return.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna, and I'm, me, I've always got some Detroit love here, there, and everywhere. You know what I mean? I'm hoping though that when I was talking about low event games, which I really don't see it, if I seen a best of 7 again, like last year after all was said and done, that was a great series, Florida and Boston.
Oh yeah.
Especially since Boston lost, that made it even more advantageous. And you forget they were up 3-1.
Yes.
People forget that part.
They were a Bergeron, a Marchand breakaway.
Boys. Oh, God. Marchand breakaway in overtime.
Away from winning that series. That was in Game 6, I believe, right?
Yeah, Game 6, yeah. Then they would have won right there in overtime, and he had the breakaway. Good. I'm glad he missed. He's vermin anyway. I seen some mice running around the street today. Mice come out of the field sometimes just run across. Like, was that Marchand? I swear. Looked like Marchand. Nose and everything. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
In my neighborhood, I've been talking to a lot of the older guys, us retired guys who are walking the dogs in the street, and you always want to get what's your feet on the ground situation when we're talking about. A lot of the guys, these diehards, I'm talking like some of these guys seen the Leafs win the Stanley Cup. They remember, they're not very optimistic about your Leafs.
I don't see why.
Like what?
I don't see why.
I would be cheering my ass off for you guys saying this is going to be the best players of my life.
This is the most wide open it's ever been.
Oh, I agree.
The Leafs have some guys that are playoff performers. Like, why can't they put it together this year?
That's what I'm saying. Why not? As opposed to everybody else, except when you're seeing Boston falter a little bit. You know what I mean? They're not playing there. And Florida was looking like they were gang beaters, but lately they've been there because you know what? Florida, even though
it's a long season.
Oh, yeah. But you think like Florida is a big scoring team? Would you consider them a big scoring team? I think they have scoring potential.
They have a lot of. They got to find out how these deadline additions are going to fit into the lineup. I think that's the issue for them, like the Tarasenko's and the Kalak-Pozos.
He looks good, yeah. Tarasenko looks really good in the lineup. I think he gives them a little bit more of a jump.
But it's just like about everyone getting their cookies,
always. But I think it's a system that they play, which I respect because it's a forecheck, back check constantly, no matter who's on the ice. They all play that way, and then they look for the break.
Yeah.
They're transition.
Oh, classic Paul Maurice.
Oh, yeah. Plays it down. Paul Maurice should be a Hall of Fame coach by now.
When he just doesn't have the cup. That's the thing.
Yeah, but look at all the teams.
Been to a couple finals.
I still never understood why Toronto ran him out of town.
Bad timing.
Ron Wilson ran him out of town.
Ron Wilson sucked.
Who else did they run out of town? Babcock ran him out of town. But then again, who else? Who else they ran out of town? Pat Burns ran him out of town. Who else?
That was a little before my time.
Okay, but you do. Toronto's notorious, like just running. Like it's.
But if you listen to Sid Sixero, our media is soft here.
That's why Sid's on morning television, not doing sports. Come on, Sid, stop it. We know that's a lie. You know what I mean? The most intense. I don't know who said it, but if you look at it from like a big picture. Media and your center and what sport you play, Cowboys, Yankees, Dodgers, Maple Leafs. When you know what I'm saying? When we add all that factor
Lakers,
Knicks,
yeah,
they're in there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad you brought up the Knicks. I hope they do something because they're a traditional team. But and that's what you got to play in Toronto. And some people can play in Toronto and some people can't. You know what I mean?
Temperature is going to be a lot higher in any of the Canadian markets, Toronto especially.
Vancouver, Winnipeg, tie your skates tight. I don't want to have to first round that both of them are gone, and that's worrying me. You know what I mean?
One thing I want to bring up is an interesting move. So they were talking about the Washington Capitals, and I guess the Washington Wizards moving to Virginia. That's not happening anymore.
Great. Tony Kornheiser was freaking. He goes, we're Washington, D.C. We're the nation's capital. So that means that the neither team.
Yeah, because they play in the same arena.
Yeah,
Well, the same owner. It's Leonosis or whatever.
Yeah, so he said, no. They're not. That's a good thing. I'm glad to hear that.
I think it was a land thing more than anything, but they already committed to renovating the stadium or the arena that they're in now, so that's pretty cool. Good for DC, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Well, they've kind of got a traditional base there now, and not only that, they've won a Stanley Cup in the last 10 years, so they do have some marquee and all those great playoff series
The last
did
5
play.
years.
Yeah.
6.
But in any event, you know what I'm saying? They've been a solid market for hockey, and in that old arena, whatever it is, so they got to stay there. That's just a point. You can't take them to Virginia.
I mean, that's right there.
But they're in Landover, Maryland's where they play, right?
Sorry?
Where's their place? Where's their exact place of the arena?
I thought they play in DC proper.
Is it DC proper?
I
Anyway,
think so.
it's all that. Anyway, that you can't even there. But Virginia's the next state over. But that's like them playing now in, moving to Barrie. You know what I mean? From
Right.
whatever spot is, be like moving that'd be the distance. That's what I'm hearing. But traditionally, keep it in Washington, and we'll be there. I'm glad the owner finally came around. I think there was some politics involved in that.
100%.
You know what I mean? Scaring each other, chasing each other, whatever
Yeah.
the case may be.
Unfortunately, your Habs, dead last in the Atlantic. Even though you guaranteed it wouldn't happen,
We got games left.
it might happen.
We got games left. We beat Colorado the other night. 2-1 in their house. In their house. We played great. Number one team in the NHL in one-goal games. The Montreal Canadiens. Number one. Realize that. So if we have 10 of those games that go our way next year, we're in the playoffs.
But
Don't use that word right now. Don't use that word. Listen,
if ifs and buts were candy enough, then we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
it's a drag because, you know what, I was really happy because I didn't turn on the game before we got our asses kicked, but I did watch the Colorado game, and we're competitive. We just don't sometimes, we can't score.
That's a big issue in the regular season.
Very much so. We can't score. It's just we don't score.
I've given you my thing before. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, you got to defend, but to get in there, you got to
score. Yeah, and we'd be a better playoff team if we got in. We'd be a solid playoff team because we get a break, a transition, or something to go along there. But it is a drag. I will admit it. It hurts me deep in my heart to have to acquiesce to saying that my team's in last place. Oh, we could catch them. I don't know. I'm not giving up. I'll be a disciple forever.
No, well, Ottawa's a disaster, so you got that going for you.
Yeah, that's what they say.
So one thing you brought up is obviously World Championship is going to happen a couple weeks after the season ends, so about a month away. The potential of Sidney Crosby and Connor Bedard playing for Team Canada, and if Crosby goes, guys are going to want to follow.
I hope he goes because you know what that means? It would be, there's not going to be a lot of time we're going to be able to see two guys like Bedard's proving he's going to be a great hockey player.
Two generational players.
Two generational players.
Of different generations at that.
Yes, going to play for the Worlds for our country on the Maple Leaf. I'll be watching those games.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd be good to see. And not only that, you learn because there's going to be Olympics and all these things coming up.
Oh, this is a big tryout.
You got it.
How did Ryan Smith get on that 2002 team? He was Captain Canada every year.
That's what I'm saying.
Hockey Canada remembers the loyal guys.
That's right, and away we go. So I'm hoping like hell it happens. Would be great for hockey. I mean, great for our, like for Canadian hockey. And what if they go over there and they win it too?
Very possible.
Ain't the Stanley Cup, but it sure be nice consolation prize.
Oh yeah,
is that how they put it? Yeah, I'm hoping it happens too. Because
if you want that triple crown in hockey, you gotta win that World Championship.
You got it, and not too many guys have that. No, there's a bunch, but not as many as you would think.
No,
Taves
the list is growing.
Right? Taves is the last guy.
No, a bunch of Finnish players when they won the Olympic gold and the World Championship in the same year. There's like 3 guys that joined triple gold that year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like Filppula. I'm blanking on the other 2 now.
Because they don't win it that often, Finland, so they got away with it. Yeah, that's true. But I remember Taves did it because early in his career, when Chicago missed the playoffs, he went over and played. So he's one of those.
I think he even won before he got to the NHL.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't know, but he won.
I think it was before.
He's won World Juniors.
Then he won the Olympic gold, and then he won the
Worlds
Stanley Cup the same
and
year.
the Stanley Cup. Yeah, but he's got all 4.
Because World Cup and juniors.
The juniors would be the 4th one. What a career. I hope his health's okay because we haven't heard much from him.
I know. We may never see him again, unfortunately.
I know. That's a drag. Mm-hmm.
Shall we move on to the power rankings?
Yes, we should.
Okay, I will begin this time.
Okay.
Number 5, a team that beat my beloved Leafs on Sunday, the Carolina Hurricanes, and they have looked fantastic.
You know,
Despite my no superstar theory, they might prove me wrong this year. We'll see.
oh, and you know what? You could they were on my radar, but they didn't make it. They're playing good hockey.
Great hockey.
Yep, great hockey.
Number 4, the Boston Bruins. Number 3, the boys in green, the Dallas Stars. Number 2, a team that you said you were losing some confidence in, but I like them a lot, the Colorado Avalanche. And number 1, the New York Rangers.
Wow. Our lists do look a little different this week. Okay. Starting at number 5, I'm going to have Vancouver. I still got faith.
They were my number 6.
Okay, guy still got faith in Vancouver at number 5. They might not be there next week. I have another week like they've been having, okay? Number 4, I got Florida. I had them up higher, but I'm watching them. I go, they need a little bit more goal scoring, but that could change. I just thought that rugged, nutty, they're going to kill everybody style is going to win. But after I've seen
Nothing good comes after but.
Thank you very much. Got Florida at 4. I got the Dallas Stars at number 3 because they got to be in there. They're good. They've reached it. Like, they've been playing great hockey down the stretch. We're going to see what happens. Number 2, I have the New York Rangers, which makes me have to acquiesce to the fact that I was just talking about someone that looked like a rat. However, I'm saying number 1 this week for me is the Boston Bruins.
Wow.
Yep. Seen them play their last 2 games, man. They're solid. They really are. If you watch that Florida game, and then they played before that, who they played? Vancouver, or was it Dallas? Like, they beat 2 good teams in a row there if we check the schedule. Mm-hmm. I hate them, but they are solid. You know what I mean? I hope they get upset in the first round.
I would not be upset about that.
No, I wouldn't.
Put it that way.
Okay, I wouldn't be either.
And it is on to our Saturday night pick'em. Last week, we were both 6 for 11.
Oh, we were over 500 though, right? Thank you.
Yes, just barely.
I know. And this week there's 15 games, isn't there?
15 games.
Yeah, I checked. I'm ready.
And this is the third last one, and this is the last big one, basically.
Yes.
All right, first up, Detroit at Florida. I'm going to take the Panthers at home because the Red Wings, sorry, Rob, they are just falling apart.
I agree, and Florida needs it because they still want to get the first place.
Agreed.
So I'll take Florida.
Number 2, Vegas at Minnesota. I'm going to take Vegas on the road.
You know what I heard came up, and it was a guy I really like, Hirschkinen, the defenseman for Minnesota.
Okay.
A lot of people are starting to say, because there was some injuries at the beginning of the year, that he should be recognized as one of maybe the top 5 in the league. And I agree.
You're taking Minnesota?
I'm taking Minnesota.
Okay. Next up, Anaheim Ducks at the Edmonton Oilers. I'm going to take the Oilers at home because Anaheim is...
Gimme. That's a gimme.
New York Rangers at the Arizona Coyotes. Another team just falling apart. I'm taking the Rangers to win on the road.
Day Rangers.
Nashville at Colorado. This is going to be a very interesting one. I'm going to take Colorado to win at home.
Because it's Saturday night at home. They've got a good record. If that was in Nashville, I'd take Nashville all day.
I likely would too.
Yeah, but I'll take Colorado.
Toronto at Buffalo, the game that I will be attending. Buffalo smacked Toronto last time there, so I'm picking Toronto for the road upset.
Yep, they're going to
for the revenge game.
Yep, they're going to get them.
A game I just dreaded picking. Pittsburgh at Columbus.
Oh.
I'm going to choose Columbus to win at home.
No, Pittsburgh's got pride. They're going to win. Columbus is horrible. Come on.
Pittsburgh's been pretty shite, too.
Agreed.
Carolina at Montreal. I'm going to pick Carolina to continue their streak.
Montreal on a Saturday night, I'm never betting against them. And Martin St. Louis back. Everyone's tied their skates better. Slafkovsky's going to get his first hat trick of his career.
Okay. Chicago at Philadelphia. I'm going to pick the Flyers to win at home.
All day because Chicago can't win on the road. They're just terrible.
New York Islanders at the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm going to pick Tampa Bay to win at home. Another great home team.
Saying the Islanders are going to sneak it because they need it. Go with the Islanders.
They've been so up and down, though.
No kidding.
Ottawa at Winnipeg. I'm going to pick Winnipeg to win at home.
All day. I'll take Winnipeg.
Boston at Washington. I'm going to pick Washington to win at home.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think Washington can beat
They're
Boston.
fighting for a playoff spot.
Boston will punish them.
Boston, okay. Your loss.
I hope they do lose.
San Jose at St. Louis. I'm going to pick St. Louis to win at home because, of course.
Well, you got to pick St. Louis because they've got a mathematical chance, and they're not giving up, and they're playing good hockey. They're very competitive, but they're not going to make it. They're like the Detroit, but on the other side. You know what I mean? They're not going to make it, but fuck, they play good hockey.
They're a lot further than Detroit, too.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, LA at Calgary. LA's been a pretty good road team this year, so I'm going to pick the Kings to win on the road.
I'm going to take that too because I think Calgary's come to the realization that they're done. Like, you notice the last few games now, they pushed, but now they're going, did you get your vacation time yet? Where are you going? I'm going to St. Louis show. Where are you going?
I'm going to Punta Cana.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Dallas Stars at the, I almost said Seattle Seahawks, Seattle Kraken. I'm going to pick Dallas to win on the road.
I have to after giving them that much props.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Our picks are pretty similar this week. So it's
they're going to stay that way because you're saying there's going to be some crazy games, but we're going to go with the odds. Like, you know, when you think what's so now I pick a couple of stupid ones that are probably going to come back and bite me in the ass. But
still, it's been tight. I'm still only 4 wins back of you, and you've only won one more week over me.
Oh, that's close. I wonder if people are betting on us.
The season, maybe. Should do that, like a House That Happens pool or something.
Yes.
Picks, you are 150 to 146.
Oh, okay. I could have won a modicum of money. I've only won 2 hockey bets all year.
Really?
Only 2 hockey bets. Yeah. I always get burned. One team here, one team there. We're all masters of 4 or 5. You know what I mean?
Speaking of master, you are a master of your own segment, sir. It's the gospel according to Cruz.
Thank you very much. Okay, this is the time of year when, like you said, it's a great time of the year for sports, but somehow, some way, we always talk about the season that never ends, and that's our beloved NFL. They have found ways to always keep themselves into the news, but right now the biggest thing that's going on is we are 1 month away from, what would you call that? The NFL draft.
Yes.
Everybody's speculating. Everybody's saying this. It could be that. But something came up along the way that I just had to say, wait a second here. Can you understand this? And I want to thank Michael Lombardi. Do you know who Michael Lombardi is? He's a former GM. He worked with New England. Mm-hmm. He worked with Al Davis. He tells the best Al Davis stories of all time. You got to check the guy. It comes on McAfee. He's great. But we were talking about the draft, and he really got crazy. And the thing that came up, and it really said to me, and I got to agree with him, is I want to ask you this question. What is a mock draft expert? What the hell is a mock draft expert? I want to know what do they do? They put the thing in the hat and they pull the names out. The 2 biggest ones, Mel Kiper, and the other guy's name is Daniel Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kiper's the one I know.
Okay, we know. Okay, but okay. So I'm going to tell you what I think about this. This is absolutely mad. Every day, go hit internet now and hit NFL Draft 2024. You're going to think it's 8 different movies. For starters, like it's 8 different clips to 8 different movies. Number 1 is the belief in the quarterback all of a sudden raising up. And it's like, it becomes the stories of the draft, which makes the NFL be what it is. And I'm going to give you 2 of them that make me laugh, which makes me say, there's no such thing as a mock draft expert. I'm going to tell you, this is what I think, and it's going to go on. And it's going to involve 2 things. And they both are beloved to me because they belong to Michigan. And, I'm a Michigan diehard, just won the national championship. Jim Harbaugh has come out and said that J.J. McCarthy is the best quarterback in the draft. Do you know a couple of GMs are actually quite listening to what he's got to say? And a couple of other GMs are going, are you out of your frickin' mind? Come on, we got Khalid Williams. We got Derek May. We got the kid from LSU. Mm-hmm. So of all these mock experts, I don't know what a mock expert is. One guy's got it that, hey, he's going to be here. This guy's going to fall out. This guy's going to be here. So if I'm looking at the same page and these guys are draft mark experts, how can J.J. McCarthy from middle of nowhere, who could have possibly been a early 2nd round pick, suddenly be a top 5 pick? So that means you're going to eliminate Marvin Harrison, who I'll get to in a second. Are you going to eliminate Joe Alt, or whatever his name is, from Notre Dame, who's going to be the next Joe Thomas of linemen? Because here's how maybe it really works. Mock expert. Everybody knows that Harbaugh says you build from an O-line. So who's the best O-lineman in the draft? Alt from Notre Dame. Who's got the 5th pick in the draft? San Diego. So 4
L.A.
L.A., yeah, sorry. L.A. But anyway, so if the 4 quarterbacks go first and Harbaugh gets his offensive lineman, who's the mock draft expert then? Because he got what he wanted, correct? Let's take it one step later. Have you ever heard of Xavier Leggett?
No.
He's a wide receiver from South Carolina. Suddenly, out of the middle of nowhere, some draft experts are saying he ran a 4.1. He's got hands like 8 feet long. He can stretch the defense. He can do this and that. So he's going to be a sleeper pick and maybe get picked ahead of the guy from LSU or the guy from Marvin Harrison from Ohio State. Wait a second, Mr. Draft Mock Expert, who I don't believe in. Marvin Harrison didn't go to a combine. He didn't show up for a pro day. He didn't do anything. You know why? Because his dad is Marvin Harrison Sr. And he's got 2 uncles and 2 cousins that have all played in the NFL. And if all these people are telling him, don't bother with the combine, don't bother with the pro days, what are they saying? A lot of this is bullshit, so that there's no such thing as a mock draft expert. Ask the guys that drafted Ryan Leaf. Ask the guys that drafted Mariota. Ask the guy that drafted Russell, what's his name at Rose. Ask the guys that drafted Johnny Manziel. I want all of those draft experts to come in the room and say, how'd you get to that, buddy? What makes you an expert?
Well, I think you're missing the purpose of a mock draft. No. You're projecting the draft.
Exactly. So there's no such thing as a mock draft expert. You just took a bunch of names out and you put them out and said, I can guess this way too. So I'm going to guess my top 10.
It's an educated guess.
No,
because you're looking at team need.
Okay, then that's why I'm saying Jim Harbaugh could possibly be manipulating the draft because he likes O-linemen first. What does LA need to protect Herbert? Herbert. But here's the other thing why he's so nifty. That he's got the 5th round pick. Then why doesn't he package, another mock expert said, which I think is completely insane, and it involves your team. Why don't they take Justin Herbert and the number 1 draft pick, trade it to New England?
No, if you're the Chargers, that's like stupidity.
Thank you. That's what one of the mock experts is trying to tell me that Jim Harbaugh's going to do.
Who said that?
One of the mock experts.
Which one?
I forget.
Not Mel Kiper.
No, but I could be the other Jeremiah guy or one of his buddies that come up during the show. Go hit right now. MLB Draft. NFL Draft 2024. You'll think it's previews for a bunch of new movies coming up in that reality TV show called the NFL. So I just want to end with this. Marvin Harrison is probably the best player you could take out of the draft, and Alt from Notre Dame is a lineman you're going to get for 10 years. It's just that football has gotten to a point where quarterback is the most important position in sports in North America. So if you don't have one, you're going nowhere. And what has done is the mock experts have now convinced everybody that J.J. McCarthy should be at the top of the draft and not the 2nd round pick that I think that he should be personally, and I'm a Michigan guy. However, I will give J.J. McCarthy this. He did play 3 seasons of starts. And the last time you ignored someone that had 3 seasons of starts, his name was Brock Purdy. Mm-hmm. So maybe I, Jack Cruz, am your mock draft expert.
I think you're kind of missing the point of a mock draft, though.
I know exactly what it is. I'm making that the guys the other day. I'm just being a complete clown about it because I can't believe all the shit that I read in one day. If you read one day about the drafts, you know what I'm saying? It makes you go, I don't think so. So there's no mock draft expert. You're just saying that I believe through my little...
Well, who's calling them the expert, though?
Everybody. It says mock draft.
Well, that's like the thing with the insiders, right? It's just like...
So are you going to agree with me? There's no such thing as a mock draft expert.
I mean, I'd have to see their records.
I would have to say you probably got some pretty good information. Okay, but I'm not saying there's no such thing as a mock draft expert. That's like in the NHL. There's nobody that knows the perfect draft. You don't know. First of all, it's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
But when I heard the expression mock draft expert, stop
The
it.
NFL draft is probably the easiest to project, though.
Yes and no, because how many failures there have been? Look at the last 10 years. Look at the quarterback.
No, but I'm saying in terms of which team is going to take what player. It's easier to project that.
At times. But look at the
it goes by
failures.
team need, and like first rounders, like you're expected to, unless you're like a quarterback going late in the first round, you're expected to start on your team.
Okay, so I'm going to take the guy that went Buffalo, Bill Bean. His name, the general manager of Buffalo, he put it best. He said, we got our draft wall. We know who we want. We know what we got. We know what we need. So he goes, we go start drafting for need. Okay?
Yeah.
But then he goes, you don't know what people are doing in front of you. Okay? So when you didn't get in front of you, oh, look at this. Someone didn't draft Patrick Mahomes. Oh, but guess what?
Well, yeah, it's a balancing act.
You got it. That's why there's no mock draft expert. Because if there was a mock draft expert, Patrick Mahomes wouldn't have been sitting around that long. Justin Jefferson would have been sitting around that long. Well, look who was drafted ahead of him in that draft.
But that's not, again, you're missing the purpose of a mock draft, though.
You're hoping that you can project what a team wants according to need.
Yeah, you're saying like this guy needs this, or this team needs this player, so they're going to take this guy. You're not saying this is the best player.
Okay.
You're saying this is the best player for this team's needs.
Okay, so that's what a mock draft expert is supposed to explain to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to the Bean general manager of Buffalo and going, no, man, this guy's the best guy. I'm just taking a motherfucker. That's all there is to it. And that's how my mock draft works. And if you check the history of the NFL just in the last 10 years, go look at the carcasses of the mock draft experts. We got a pile out there. Let's start with Johnny Manziel. Let's start with Josh Rosen. What's the running back?
That's not mock draft. That's like teams making stupid decision problems.
Based on what the mock
No, come on. You're saying they're listening to the like the ESPN guys?
Khalid Williams is going to go first, right?
Expected to.
Okay, we can assume.
Despite his best efforts.
Okay.
Do you see him in the stands of the basketball game? Pink lip gloss, pink nails, pink phone case.
Oh, he's just off the chart.
Just trying everything not to get drafted by the Bears.
But I think the Bears are going to take him anyway. That's the way it's going to go. But I'm going to stick to that, people. And guess what? I'm going to try to guess my top 10 draft picks before the draft. And I'm going to put it on a piece of paper before draft night, because I'll be sitting there that draft night. And I'm going to say, come to the house that happens, because we're going to hatch a bona fide mock draft expert. Please stop it. No such thing. Anyways, just enjoy the games.
Okay, old man.
Thank you. In any event, it would be, I don't want to say that everyone's just having another good time with another pagan ritual. I just want everyone to be very, very careful and have an absolutely amazing
Easter weekend.
Easter weekend, starting with Holy Thursday tonight. Please be careful. Tonight's a crazy party night, people. Please be careful out there. Tomorrow is the slowest day of the year, which doesn't matter. There's a lot of sports on. We can watch it. We'd be happy with it. I want to extend a very, very happy Easter to the Milani family also.
And I'd like to extend a happy Easter to the Cruz family as well.
I was with the Easter Bunny the other day.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm going to post it and prove it. Nobody believes me. You know what I'm thinking, bro, that I'm retiring? You want to do part-time? I'm going to be a mascot. I'm going to go to a mascot. Who they got to hire people to put on those costumes, right?
You got to be able. They usually hire very athletic people to do that, though.
I seen this Easter Bunny. He ain't not athletic. I'm not athletic, and then I got to walk around in a freaking Smokey the Bear costume.
I'm thinking more sports mascots, but
no, I'm thinking about when you're doing stuff like when you need a Goofy to walk around the musical festival.
That's a tough job, though.
Those
costumes get heavy.
I agree. I would love to do it. I think I'd have so much fun.
They stink too.
Yeah. Well, you go home and take a shot.
A lot of people's sweat is in there.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
In the moment might not be fun. That's my point.
I'm just saying, everybody have a very, very happy Easter. And we would be remiss once again. I think we had a couple of new listeners last week.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. And of course, we would not be doing this show without saying thank you to each and every person who takes the time to listen to the insane things that we have to say. And most importantly of all, everybody, especially my friends, the guy across the table from me, from Andrew Mullaney, he is real, and you guys hear it in his voice because you guys are telling me that. Just so I'm going to say, my boys are shouting out at you, buddy. Big time.
They should shout out to us on social media.
I tell them that all the time. Well, you know, it's going to hit the button and all, but you guys had some interesting points. Well, let us know.
Give us a like. Come on.
Thank you. That's all we need. Anything else you'd like to do before we get out of here?
That is just about it. Just remember, I love you all.
Very much so. And hi, my name is Cruz.
I'm Andrew Mullaney.
And you know what we do?
We keep the vibe alive. You can find The House That Happens on Podbean, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Samsung, Podchaser, Boomplay, YouTube, and SoundCloud. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at The House That Happens, and follow us on Twitter at House Happens. You can also shoot us an email at thehousethathappens@gmail.com.